Slam Sector contains levels of brain rot that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Click clack. I'm staying hydrated.
Yeah, I'm not. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slam Sector, your home for seriously casual gaming. We have a whole bunch of friends over in the chat from the Grand Narrative. Good to see all of you. Yeah. We are joined by Cadian Sergeant Steele, or as we knew him this weekend, Cadian Sergeant Vale. Were you Vale or were you Sergeant or Corporal?
I was Sergeant Joran Vale.
Sergeant Joran Vale. I know I have it on a card somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wow. Look at that. You guys are. Dang.
Hey, I got like 100 pictures here that we can go through.
Do you have a picture of this Hawaiian shirt night? How come I didn't see this?
I don't have a picture of the Hawaiian shirt night. I don't remember seeing that, and I'm a little sad. I would have loved to have seen that.
Slayery Block, join our Discord and post that in Hobby, because I have a tiki bar downstairs, so I need to see this Hawaiian shirt night because that's rad. But so hey, this weekend, if you don't know, which it looks like most of our chat does know, was the annual Warhammer Grand Narrative and the Warhammer Worlds. Here's a picture of us all kitted out, minus Ashton, who left early. But it is my favorite event for Warhammer, and the only event I participate in for Warhammer, because I don't like organized gaming. I like kitchen. I see Steel reacting at the bottom. We're going to talk about that later, because yeah, I agree. I should do more. Organized gaming. I know. Actually, I connected with Chris and Red, who were the Mordian Sergeant or Lieutenant and the Witch Hunter, and they run some gaming events here in Atlanta. So we're probably us over at Slam Sector are probably gonna join some of those in the future. But yeah, there is Chris, I believe, if I'm getting the name.
Oh, look at that handsome devil! Look at Red.
Yeah, God, those are such good costumes. His purity seals look so good. Like such a minor thing, but those purity seals look so good. Jordan, I think they just posted the Hawaiian shirt night, so
I'll grab that picture.
That is funny.
Yeah, do you want to give like a brief overview of like the format?
Yeah, so the Grand Narrative is technically a Crusade event, with everything. It's LARP meets Crusade meets like Ren Fair. I know
Ren Fair is a good way to put it.
I know LARP and Ren Fair sound like the same thing, but they're not. Because like LARP, you're playing, you're gamifying being in costume, so to speak. But Ren Fair, there's a level, and this is going to sound bad, and I promise it's not. I'm a big Ren Fair guy, so that's why I say this. There's a level of costuming that exists at LARP that doesn't exist at Ren Fair. Ren Fair, you have a certain amount of costuming that like is just, what can I make work that will get the point across without being in full cosplay like Jordan and Steele do. Because and Ryan's a great example here, right? Because Ryan's playing Night Lord. If he were to be wearing full Night Lord Space Marine armor, he could not play Warhammer 40K in that, right? And that's where the Ren Fair thing comes in. It's the hint of costuming rather than full, verisimilitude as far as costuming goes. And then you have me, Jordan, and Steele, who go a little too far. Next year, I will be in full stilts and Space Marine armor because
you're insane.
I'm an insane person.
I already drew up my costume for next year.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're going to talk about that, I think, when we get to the awards section, because we're gunning for some of those next year. Now you two have both done all 3 events, correct?
There's been 4. I've done 3.
There's been 4. Okay. Were you at the first one then, Steele?
I missed the first one, which was in I think Oklahoma City.
It was in Albuquerque?
Albuquerque. Yeah, it was in New Mexico. Yep.
Okay. And then the second one was here?
Second one, third one, fourth one were all here in Atlanta.
Okay. So you two have done all the Atlanta events. I've done the last two, which the last one was my first ever Warhammer organized play event. And this would have been my second ever Warhammer organized play event. Now, it's not just, okay.
You jumped in head first. Like, you did the most intense event you could for your first event.
I've played Warhammer since 8th edition. My play group, so I just moved from California to Georgia. My play group in California was not very serious about it. Obviously, my play group here has a full-on YouTube channel about it, so they're a little more serious. I did a lot of Magic tournaments and Magic events in my past. And Warhammer was always like, I tie Warhammer to D&D for myself. I'm a big D&D. I mean, I'm wearing a damn Beholder shirt, right? Like,
yes!
I'm a big D&D guy. So my entry to Warhammer was learning to paint miniatures for D&D. The first miniatures I ever painted was a Death Watch kill team. So
you just love to like jump into the deep end, huh?
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, so I bought this Death. Well, I painted like 3 like Reaper, like a skeleton, or a skeleton and a Dark Knight or something. And then then I fell into a Death Watch kill team because of a video about something or other. There's our winner. So why don't we talk about this now, since we have multiple of them in the chat and we're showing the pictures.
Yeah.
So getting a little out of the way here, there's a series of awards they give out. I don't think we're going to talk about like the adversary and the hero awards.
So we can go through them really quick.
Sure.
So there was the protagonist and the antagonist, which I don't really know like what the criteria are for those, but it's like the most villainous and the most like heroic players, which was Aaron Fess was the protagonist, Garrett Severson was the antagonist. And then gameplay awards, champion of the interlopers, which is the best Xenos player, was Justin Katzman. Champion of chaos was Emery Chahangre. I think I'm saying that right. And then champion of the Imperium was John Jensen. Company of heroes was Battle Group 13, which was the Bad Luck Brigade, which I think this is maybe the third year of them calling themselves that, which is really funny.
Sure.
Because I think this is the second time they've won best battle group.
I ended up with one of their patches, and their patch is really cute.
The like black cat.
It's like a black cat with the Yarick laser eye.
Mm-hmm. What?
It's really cool. I'll have to post that in the Discord because it's a really cool. It was just on a table, like someone left it on a table. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll keep that.
And then Firehawks Award for the most resilient yet least effective battle group was Battle Group 19.
I love the Firehawks Award.
The Firehawks Award is so good. And then all the ones that we care about. So the armor. Oh no, we already have this one pulled up. So let's talk about the, what do they call this? The Excellence Award, or Thematic Excellence Award. So this is for the best theming, which was won by Dave Gormley, who is Grinelvex in chat. And this is his display board, which is fucking sweet. The like orc portal and everything.
Yeah.
So good.
Do you have a, I'm sure you don't have his display board from last year queued up.
I don't. It was like the big
it was so good too.
The giant walker.
I have it.
Yeah.
I have it on quick access right here. I can send it to you.
That one was also very good.
I feel like it's worth shouting out his last year's display board too, because it was so good. And everything matches. His display board, his costume, his army are all
big cohesive piece.
Matched.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, are you using GW paints on your costume? Because if you are, that's insane.
That's a good point, because it is like the same yellow.
Dave just got a crate of Averland Sunset, and he's just like, ah!
No, that's gotta be like Phalanx yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Which I don't think they make a spray for. There is the Averland Sunset. The Color Forge has the Averland Sunset spray.
True.
Mega Gargant last year, the Destructor Krumpa.
Yeah. That thing was sweet. I'm sure there's pictures of it online somewhere too, that you can find. And then what did we have? Best display? Best display was to, I'm really bad at names, Ilya Basov.
And
Not that one.
No, that one's good, but that's not the
That was
one.
best army, right?
Best display. There we go. That one.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Really, really good looking like ocean display board with the like portal at the end of it for the I think it was all jet bikes. It was like an entirely jet bike army.
It was all jet bikes. He had every possible Eldar, Drukhari, and Harlequin jet bike.
Yeah.
And then a custom kit bashed leader. Custom kit bash leader that was also on a jet bike. I couldn't tell you what the model.
I think he said that he took like every possible type of bike that you can use in the Eldar and like Ynnari sections.
Which he needed to take a
really
specific.
fucking
He
cool.
needed to take a specific warlord for that, and that's what he kit bashed. Which was kit bashed out of some AOS stuff. It was real good. We were talking to him a little bit on Saturday night, I think. About his board, and I told him, I said, if this doesn't win best painted, which it didn't, it won best display, which, you know, same
The award is the like freehand stuff that like I didn't really get a good picture of it, but the freehanding on those bikes was nuts.
Yeah. It was gorgeous. And I didn't see it. And what's funny is I was looking at another army and I was talking to him, and he had said, I said, "Oh, is this your army?" And he's like, "Oh, no, mine's the jet bikes over there." I said, "Wait, I didn't see that." And then I went over. I'm like, "Holy shit! Like this is gorgeous."
He was one of the few players because we haven't got to talk about this yet, but right, I was in character the whole time. I was like dedicated to it.
Yeah.
But I walked up to the table he was playing on, and I just went and we'll talk about that. I said, "Liminal, your army is gorgeous."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And I went, "Liminal, good luck." And I walked off.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the display board. Dave's display board from last year. Yeah.
Which is really freaking cool. He won the same award last year too. So and deservedly so.
Insane shit.
But Dave, I will tell you, I'm gunning for your award next year.
Not if I get it first, nerd.
I'm really bad, and this. We have. Let's get through this, and then I'll talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump too far, but
yeah.
So then
you're talking about being in character the whole time. I am so bad at that, which is funny because like in any other situation, I will be. You want me to, be in full wizard character for 12 hours? I'll do it. For some reason, I cannot be in full Space Marine character. I don't know why.
Because Space Marines are cringe.
Maybe. That might be it.
Yeah. Which we could get into that, which is why I like the Ultramarines a little more than some other chapters, because they have characters that are a little more human,
right?
Than Space Marines
slightly more fleshed out.
Yeah. Because really, Space Marine. Yeah. Anyways. Anyhow.
So moving on to the Armor of Contempt Award, which was the best cosplay. This was Henrik Steelman with a pretty fucking creative Mandrake cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen a Mandrake cosplay before,
No.
nor would I have expected it.
No.
But the like green lines that he's got running up the sides and everything were like actually maybe fiber optic, LED, something.
Yeah, something.
But they were like actual lights, which is really cool.
It was a very cool. It was very cool, and he was the way he moved through the hallways was very. I mean, obviously, we've never seen a Mandrake move, but it was like very like sneaky elf, saunter sort of. Like he matched the cosplay with his movements, which is a huge thing to do. And again, if you're playing a human or even a Space Marine, like you just kind of walk normal, unless you're in the Space Marine stilts, So yeah, it was really cool. I remember day one I saw that, and I would have guessed he was a Vox, actually.
Yeah.
Had you asked me, I would have guessed he was a Vox of Callum.
It was very cool.
Because especially seeing the Harlequin and the the vessel, right? It was in line with those. So very cool. The vessel. That was such a cool costume. Such a cool costume. And now, still, you know these people's names. I don't. So if you want to shout out their names and give them actual credit.
So the vessel was played by Rachel Strahl, who is also Rachel Paints Minis and also runs Fiddlesticks. Sorry, skip my memory for once, but runs a prestigious paint studio out of Dallas as well, and does commission painting. Nice. Extremely talented and a very lovely person.
And I think she played, now last year she played the Slanesh or Corn.
Yes, yeah, like
she was
Slanesh.
She was like part of the like Chaos Entourage, and yeah, she was like the Slanesh one.
Yeah, she was my arch enemy last year. I kid you not. Like because I was a player last year for folks in stream who didn't know that. And she was my arch enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was. I remember running into her in the elevator, and she was out of character, and I had my army, and it was very gratifying for her to ogle my army. It's always nice when the GW staff are like, "Ooh, look at that," you know. So yeah,
especially somebody, if you've ever seen Rachel's painting. I mean,
I had no idea. Yeah,
just phenomenal. Oh, Sensei Swag. That's her studio.
Okay,
and,
gotcha.
So absolutely phenomenal. And I think just quick credit to her before we cover the other characters. I think Rachel had the hardest job because she had a non-speaking character, right?
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, is the hardest characters to play and still interact with players and create cool stories. And Rachel did phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. She would like come up to people just like in the middle of briefings and like start tapping on their costumes and shit and like being sneaky.
Yeah, I was wearing that big old chest plate, and she just came up and she had the long nails. I think they were part of her gloves. I don't think they were
part of the gloves. Yeah, I talked to her about it. But she started
tapping on my armor, and I'm like, I don't know how to react to this.
Yeah.
Had I known it was her at the time, I probably would have reacted different because I like had talked to her last year, but I had no idea who it was under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll talk more about how the characters evolved in the story because this,
because there's
it got cool.
Yeah.
This is what I love about this. Like, you never know quite what the community is going to latch on to, and that was cool. So the Harley Quinn was Stephanie, who is also super talented and does amazing Eldar cosplays. Like, if you go find Stephanie on Instagram, I can't remember her handle currently, but she does a lot of Eldar cosplay. Craft World, Harley Quinn, Drakari. So this year she played. I kept getting the character name wrong. It's
Relatan.
Relatan. Yeah.
It was just such a good. It was such a good costume.
Underscore girl underscore Stephanie Burton.
And it was such a good costume, and they were so dialed in on character too. Like, they would enter the room and just, it was a performance, which is like not like as in obviously everyone's performing, but like it was a performance insofar as like, you know, an Eldar or a Harlequin should be. Absolutely wonderful. So I took this picture. It was the best example of, so to understand the grand narrative, right? If you weren't there, which I think a lot of our chat was, you'll just be playing a game, and then, you know, what's his name? The Infinite. Trazen will just walk in and start asking you questions about your game. Like,
no, sorry, it's Trazin.
No,
Trazin.
Trazin.
Gotta say it fancy. Trazin.
But it's two syllables.
Yeah.
So it's not the Zin I have a problem with. It's not the Tra I have a problem with. It's the Zin.
They put a lot of emphasis on the Zin.
On
Trazin.
It was, which gorgeous cosplay. So all of these costumes, none of them are, to my knowledge, for the Vox and the Lords of War, they are all their personal cosplays in some way, shape, or form. These are all cosplays that these people own in some way, shape, or form. I think the exception might have been the Thousand Sun.
Yep, that's the only exception.
Okay.
So fun. I want to share a fun fact. Trazen. So that's Ryan, who's a full-time Games Workshop employee, as far as I know. Oh my god, beautiful, right?
Great shot.
Did not have a voice modulator. For a lot of the fans thought Trazen had like a electronic.
No.
Oh yeah. No.
No, that was Ryan's voice.
Yeah.
But he was mic'd, right?
Yeah, he was mic'd.
Yeah.
Good added to it. But that cosplay. Now Ryan's a big dude. Okay. Like, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'1". Ryan is also a big dude, bigger than me. That banner in the background right there is like 9 or 10 feet tall.
Yeah, he was huge.
Yeah, I just want frame of reference for people on stream. Now,
show the picture of us in front of it, Jordan.
Yeah.
The backdrop.
Yeah.
And then this Trazen cosplay. Yeah. See? It's like 8
it's like
tall.
it's like 8 feet tall, yeah.
8 feet
Because
tall.
our Ryan here on the left is 6'4". So
okay, so maybe 7.5. Okay,
yeah,
they said they were labeled 10-foot banners. Anyways, so
well, they might be 10 foot long.
Yeah, maybe 10 foot long and 20 foot. Yeah. So that Trazen cosplay is made out of carbon fiber.
Oh God.
Carbon fiber? Oh, how much?
What am I thinking of? What's the lace?
No, it's carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said how much he said it weighed like 90 pounds or something like that, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
90
Insane.
pounds, and he like wore that like a champ, like it was almost nothing. Couldn't believe it.
I feel like you can kind of do that with Trazen because like he's an old fucking creaky robot anyway, so you can kind of like add that into your character.
Lumber a little bit.
Yeah.
So for the folks who were there and witnessing it, it clanked, which I loved because the mic picked up. So when he walked around, you could hear clanky clack and clanky clack. And that was because it was the carbon fiber just
smacking around. Yeah.
Just smacking. Yeah.
Like it was actually metal, right? And I didn't know that till the event was over, and then he told me and blew my mind. This is how like wild these outfits are.
I think he was like the fan favorite character for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the vessel was a close second, but the vessel wasn't speaking, right?
Yeah.
But the vessel had so much character
without saying anything. Yeah.
Without saying anything, it was amazing. The last year, it's interesting to contrast last year with the orc that Chris, I think his name's Chris, was wearing.
Yes.
Where he would then come in just the orc head and the ghillie suit like blanket, right? The like camo netting is how he would walk around because it was too big and lumbering to walk around in.
Yeah.
Whereas this year we just had 2 full Space Marines and Trazen just...
What was his name? Magister Vorsh. Yeah.
Magister Vorsh, which this is no critique of the Deathwatch Marine because so both these costumes were made by Draco Makes on Instagram. And Jordan and I had some extensive conversation with him.
Yeah, we talked with him for like an hour and a half after.
And I talked to him a lot during the event as well.
Yeah.
Because I was also wearing Deathwatch armor. In fact, behind the scenes, I don't want to spoil his secrets too much, but this is a Black Templar Deathwatch suit that he's wearing to play Dark Angel Deathwatch. Because
that's why he has the Tyranid bits on it.
That's why he's got the Tyranid bits covering the Black Templar shoulder. Because he has 3 or 4 Black Templar armors.
All right.
Yeah.
Man after your own heart.
Yeah. So, but he professional cosplayer does these suits for commission. So, had a lot to share with us. And he said his goal is to get as many Space Marines at these events as he can. So, Next year we're gonna add a few because that's my goal is to make one. I have a better shot of the Magister's costume.
Really quick. We did skip over best painted, so I do.
Oh yes.
Want to show that real quick. So this was Jesse Patton, who I had the pleasure of playing against 2 of these Baneblades in Game 5. So I ended up in a 2v1 in that game, and I didn't kill either of them, but I got one of them down to 1 wound with a Reductus Saboteur in melee. It was hilarious.
Amazing.
This, where is it? This army, when I saw it, this is his, Lord Solar. This is what he used for his Lord Solar. I'm pretty sure that banner, which, yeah, he's in chat. Is that banner freehand? Because that's insane.
Yeah,
it looked like it's freehand.
Well, and I think he did what I do, that he had to shave down the banner to get to that point. Because that is the actual banner on that sister model. I think that's a limited edition sister model, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is that Astrid Thurga?
No,
is that Astrid Thurga?
I don't think it's limited edition. I think it's one of the. It's like
just a named character.
Yeah, that I just looked it up. That's Astrid Thurga. Yeah.
Yeah. I got.
She's just a sister's character.
Yeah.
I gotta find a spot for that in my army.
No, dude, don't do not apologize for that game. That was one of the best games I played all weekend. That shit was so fun.
This is such an interesting event, right? Where the games that you lose,
which I lost 5 out of my 6 games, by the way,
and I lost 1 out of my 6 games. But like even when you lose in this event, it's fine. Like there's no. This year, I had one or 2 last year that were pretty feels bad. But like this year, I didn't have a single feels bad game one way or the other. God, the OSL on that is so gorgeous. God.
All right, I need truly insane stuff.
Yeah, I need to look at some of this army because
this was one of my favorites. The Death Riders, insane. Yeah, I fell in love with this army as soon as I saw it.
Oh, what are you running that as? That's the Prophet of Redemption from Necromunda.
Yeah.
That I like.
God.
That like so my army is very much modeled after the like John Blanche Templars stuff that's real old school, real grimdark, and so a lot of times I have to go to Necromunda to get the right amount of grimdark. That model, I have not yet found a spot to run him, but that's such a good job on it.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah,
because
that totally is
stuff.
fitting the vibe I want to go for. But
yeah, it was a pleasure to be blown off the board by those things.
It was a priesthood, not Vermin Supreme. Yeah, it's 100% Vermin Supreme.
He's got a boot.
I think when we did our Necromunda episode, Jordan, that you weren't there for the Warhammer TV Necromunda pitch, that's what I called him, was Vermin Supreme, because he's 100% Vermin Supreme.
So that base is even modified.
I think all of these are,
because that model comes on like a broken column.
Yeah.
Base. Yeah. Whoa.
Like all of the bases, I think, are like custom made bases.
They might be, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. There is a pre-made set of bases that look like that you can buy.
Maybe.
That I've ogled a few times, and it wasn't quite the right vibe for what I was going for. But yeah, he is cut off of what, and he is resin, I believe. So he's resin and cut off of whatever he's originally on, which is even harder to do. As a kit bashing man myself, that is hard work. So yeah, that's gorgeous army. I gotta take some notes from this one. Because...
Truly well deserving of that best painted award, because that's insane work, my friend.
I think Jesse came up second to guard players I harassed, other than you, Jordan. You were number 1. I did harass you the most.
So
It was
then
fun.
technically,
It was fun.
technically Jesse was the first most harassed guard player.
I technically wasn't playing guard. I was technically playing GSC.
That's true. That's true. Oh, look
gorgeous.
at that. Mm.
I don't actually have a shot of my army. I don't think that I gave you.
I found one somewhere.
I have a good one from last year because it's basically the same vibes at least.
Yeah.
But
yeah. What were we talking about? We were talking about.
I'm talking about armies. I will say real quick, I can't. But Jesse, I wish I could share with you the staff's reaction to your army during the painting judging. Like, the staff were just gawking at your army. I mean, they were blown away, is what I'll say. And there were so many phenomenal armies at the event. Like, make no mistake. Look, Jordan's is superb, and Sean's was great, and like the Eldar army, phenomenal. Dave's amazing, on and on and on. And the staff just couldn't stop talking about Jesse's army.
So I guess this is a good time to ask then. If we did want to find some of that if we did want to hear some of that feedback, right? Because the only way to improve is through feedback. Is that something we can reach out and be like, hey, I'm curious. This was my army. What did you guys, what was the reaction? Or like ask the judges after, like, is there a procedure or protocol for that?
There wasn't a formal one this year, and what they were cod. I'm just like, listen, nobody judge me here, but I love a good cult GSC or Renegade army. Like, I do. They're beautiful, and there's nothing I want to stomp better into the ground than a well-painted heretic army. Sorry, I got distracted.
I got the first ability to do that. My game 5 opponent was Traitor Templars.
Oh, was this the one that was playing as World Leaders?
Yeah, he was World Leaders Traitor Templar.
Okay, is that what this picture is?
No, that's Iron Warriors. So that was my Iron Warriors opponent, and all of his possessed were possessed Imperial Fists.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
So that was good. But there's the Emperor's Champion in there that I sent you.
Maybe. I just labeled them all, Sean.
That's the Iron Warriors opponent. That's a different Iron Warriors opponent.
How many Iron Warriors did you play?
I played 2 Iron Warriors. There was a lot of Iron Warriors at the event. There was a lot of Iron Warriors.
I don't see the picture you're talking about, but maybe I'll dig it up.
You know what? I may not have sent it.
I can't believe
I didn't send it.
That's okay.
I didn't send it, but I did send you. I just sent you some pictures from my army from last year because I didn't take any pictures of my army, like other than just board shots. But
there's Sean's army.
I brought the same. Oh, you took one. Sick. Look at you go.
Oh my God! Look at that. Ready.
I like last year I had a backdrop on there and I liked it better. I wish I'd kept the backdrop next year.
Yeah, Lessons I think learned. you and I think both did our display boards like in one day, right?
Yeah, so this event was a nightmare for me. By the time Friday night we were done playing, I had been up for 36 hours. Because I finished the display board and my army and my armor Thursday into Friday morning. At 5 a.m. I stopped painting. Friday morning. Jordan, throw up one of the pictures I had from last year because it gets the theme across better with the backdrop. Just so you understand the vibe I'm going for. The backdrop didn't fit on this board. I tried to move the backdrop from the last board to this one.
Stand by.
Sorry, I know that's extra work. But yeah, it had the Armageddon like backdrop going last year. this was a much bigger board. But yeah, there is the LED is not in the tower. The LED is in the plasma rifle of the Hellblaster. Yeah, the LED is on the actual Hellblaster. Because I am a crazy person and decided to drill out a
Yeah, you
plasma
have
rifle.
you have LEDs in
The Dreadnought also has
Dreadnought.
LEDs.
Is it just that Dreadnought and that Hellblaster right now?
Just the Dreadnought and the Hellblaster for now. We just got a new pack of LEDs because I couldn't find them after the move. So next year, all the vehicles will be lit.
Yeah, let's see. This was my display board. I did this like the night before the event because I was like,
dude, it's so good.
I was like, I need something, and so I just like took some terrain and I stuck it on top. I used some Sculpt-A-Mold. Did most, I think like 95% of the painting is just like airbrushing and dry brushing. So like you can make a pretty decent display board pretty quickly. I think I'm probably gonna go harder on it next year.
Yeah, some dry brush and some texture will get you most of the way.
Yeah.
For like basic display boards, you're not going to beat Dave with that.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not even close.
No.
Yeah, so there's the Dreadnought with the lights, which, despite what GW might think, there is no 3D printing on that model.
They did ask you that. They did ask you that the first year.
Yeah, last year Zach came up and he's like, "How much of this is 3D printed?" I said, "Absolutely none. I can tell you every terrain kit I used to build it. Like the Crozius and the shins are made with Mechanicum terrain, and then the wings on the Crozius are Jordan. Help me out. Your bikes.
The Ravenwing
Ravenwing bikes. The wings on the chest are Plasticard. And it was there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood on that model, literally from cutting my hand open making it. But yeah, so this goes back to me not playing a lot of events. The game of 40K I find fine. The modeling of 40K and the style of 40K is where I cut my teeth, because I'm just a sucker for it, and I want more grimdark in my models. So, however I can get it, I will get it. So yeah, this was the World Eaters Templars. Those were his 8-pound, and his Slaughterbound. Is that the leader's name?
Yeah.
Was his Gravis mechanic. He had his custom
Cran lives on the front
Cran
of it.
lives. Yeah. Well, so he was the Chosen of Cran, I think was the name of their battle group.
Okay.
Yeah. The 10 guys that had the unified board, which is really awesome to see.
Oh, they had they had like a huge ass animated portal on it and everything.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so that was his he was playing Templars. His I don't know if I have a picture of it, but his Demon Prince was Templar riding one of the Seraphon dinosaurs, the T-Rex.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, he had all kinds of wild. But all right, so the plot. Let's talk about the plot, and let's talk about the character evolutions. Oh, any other voxel columns we want to shout out before we?
Oh,
we can go through all of them real quick.
Probably credit. The Vorsh was played by Chris Dover, right? So give credit to Chris. So Chris
who has been standout in every one of these.
Yes. So most folks remember Chris as Thedge, the traitor Cadian at that. So I hated that. I already knew Chris before.
I think he's still probably like my favorite grand narrative character of all time.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Well, Zoggett, come on.
Okay, fair. Zoggett. Second. He's second.
Everyone loves Zoggett. I mean, we came back this year and everyone going, Zoggett.
We did have a Zoggett chant.
Zoggett chant, and that's what I love about this community. Okay, so, Chris Dover, phenomenal person, actor, and dedicated to the hobby and the narrative. He runs the Nova narratives. So that's his
Okay.
big claim to fame, I think, if you ask me. And so, yeah, he did a fantastic job and was very dedicated to playing Vorsh.
Yep.
And, did amazing. And then there was also Vale. So there were 2 Vales, not to be confusing, but there was the Assassin Vale. Yes, so that's Ed.
Which a couple people thought I was Ed.
To be fair.
Yeah. White guy with beard. White guy with beard, dark
yeah.
hair. Same build. Yeah.
You white guys all look the same.
Yeah. Mirror, Jordan.
Jordan, I think if I grew my beard out, we could like cosplay each other.
Yeah.
You want to trade places during one of the great narratives?
What if I'm not staff next year? Let's see if we can swap out one game if anybody notices.
Hell yeah.
Which he played. Ed played Zoggett last year.
No,
Right?
I did not.
No, Ed
No,
played someone last
Zoggett
year.
was
Fred.
Oh no,
Fred.
Zoggett was
Fred. Yeah.
Fred.
Yeah, Ed though is on the painting team. So if you go and subscribe to Warhammer Plus and things like that, Ed's one of the painters you'll see. Very talented, very dedicated, and so he played the assassin, who I feel like got the short end of the stick because we could all tell the assassin was heading down a
Dark path.
heretical path or a what's the other thing we call it where you have like the hardcore Inquisition people and then the really loose
the radicals.
The
radicals, and what's the other side called?
Puritan.
Puritans.
Oh, Puritan. Yeah, so he was more. He's not an Inquisitor, but he was more like radical.
Yeah.
He was leaning that way.
he walked out with an octet on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like day one. But I heard there's a story behind that, which was that his mom helped him make his costume and just thought it was a cool symbol, not knowing like the implications.
Yeah.
And so it started like day one. The entire Chaos team was like, oh my god, wait, this assassin is Chaos. And so like we started spreading that rumor everywhere, and we talked to Vorsh, and he was like, yes, spread the rumor amongst the Imperial ranks and sow discord, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it was that the sewing machine or whatever had like a default snowflake pattern.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I like short end of this. So at one point we did vote for our Imperial War Leader, and I wearing the Death Watch armor, I couldn't not vote for the Death Watch captain.
Yeah.
But I also hadn't interacted with him at all in the event, so everyone's like, "Well, he's clearly Chaos." I'm like, I haven't talked to him. Like,
he also had, and we'll talk more about this. He had one of the greatest things that could be given out to players too to help out.
Yeah.
And that was where a lot of players like gravitated towards his character early on.
I do
until the story took a turn.
Real quick, want to interrupt to shout out my battle group 25. Mike Oliver in chat was part of my battle group. These dudes were so much fun.
That was your group?
Yeah. We were the ones that were like all fighting to keep Vorsh in power, but the vessel, everybody else was simping for the vessel.
What?
Mike, I'm sorry, I harassed your group so much.
I know, I was there.
But even when you weren't around, I didn't realize it was your battle group. And I was constantly like telling commissars to go like discipline them. And, dude, I
don't know which one of them had that Omniscient Power Axe, but damn, that thing was nice.
Yeah.
There's the same people that make the files for the Omniscient Power Axe make the dice hammer that is behind you, steel, and they just came out with a new. And that's part of the same set. There's a big thunder hammer that's part of that I'm gonna print for my my costume at some point. But they just came out with a cool Black Templar's axe that might be part of the costume next year. I'm not sure.
All right, back to the Vox.
See.
Where were we?
Back to the Vox, yeah. Did we miss anybody else? That Vox will come. So that's Chris.
Mm-hmm. Other Chris.
Yeah, other Chris. We had 3 Chris's this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's third Chris, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Chris is a GW employee, and this was his very first time cosplaying and playing a character for the Grand Narrative. And Chris was super nice.
Did he not do one last year?
No.
I don't know why I thought he did.
Chris filled in last minute for Chuck. And Chuck had 2 years ago played Sergeant Stone on the desert planet, who was also Catachan.
That's
and
probably
Chuck
where I
couldn't make it
remember him
last
from.
minute.
Yeah.
So Chris jumped in, and I mean, we all loved Chris. Did you guys get to go to Catachan?
I did not.
I went to Catachan. Yeah.
Okay,
He came over and chatted with me for a little bit. He's a great dude.
Yeah, great guy, and he had so much fun. He also had the best looking room. Like, I kid you not, Catachan was the
great.
best looking deployment zone.
And
I missed it. I'm sad I missed it.
He had this I want to say it's not really an air freshener because it's not what it was doing, but it was like this little scent thing on the table where he was, and the scent that it was pushing out was like the scent of soil and dirt.
Yes.
It was so fun, dude. Catachan was probably my favorite room this year.
Sean, I'm sorry you didn't get to go, because I think everyone deserved to play in that room. It was so good.
By playing Imperium, I already know that there's too many of us, so that we're going to miss something. Right?
Yeah.
They have to rotate the Chaos and the Xenos around, but I'm aware. We have the Sanctum. Yeah, we have the Sister Superior.
Oh God! So Lydia, who
amazing.
So
last
fucking
year
good.
She played the Rogue Trader.
Yep.
The year before she played, which the Rogue Trader last year was one of the greatest character arcs of that story. Yeah. And the year before was her first year, and she played the Valhallan Commander, and everyone fell in love with the Valhallan Commander. So much so, they executed the Inquisitor she worked for and made her the leader of the Imperium, as she deserved. And this year she played a Ebon Chalice Sister of Battle, and I was honored to be paired up with her on Sanguiterra. So her and I worked together. There were 2 rooms with 2 staff, and her and I were one of the rooms with 2 staff. And I say rooms as in planets. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Colonel Kulov. That was the character from 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. And Lydia is extremely talented, super cool, and also, I got to be honest, to me, she can be one of the most intimidating actors there. Yeah. Like, she can project and embody energy and rage.
So, yeah. I think it's probably, like, on that note, important to note that, like, not only was she the Sister Superior, but she was, like, the narrator for the entire event.
Well,
like, when
she
we were
wasn't
doing the
at
story
first. So day one, it was Zach.
Yeah, day one, it was Zach.
Who did fine. But yeah, I mean, I told her Sunday night, like, if you've never heard her, if you're at the narrative, you've heard her. But if you've never heard her, she has this.
If she doesn't do voice acting, she should.
She has this voice that is the perfect 40K voice.
100%.
Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yes.
But, and yes, the intimidating thing, 100%. Very intimidating, very, very good actress. And her costume was immaculate.
All right. Who else am I missing? This one?
The Mechanicum, yeah.
Tech Adept Lysiarch 27.
Which, was he the same Lysiarch as he was? Was that his same?
I'm pretty sure he was the same character.
Okay.
This year, not Chaos.
Sure, last year he did Falls.
Yeah.
He's a little Chaos.
Well, he kind of just puts on whatever.
He dabbled, for sure.
He'll wear whatever anyone gives him.
Yeah. He came over to my game and, like, started chatting with me, and I gave him a little token and everything. He was telling me that he keeps he takes all the trinkets and stuff that he gets at all of these events, and then he, like, for each event will put them in, like, a shadow box that he keeps.
Oh, that's so
like,
cool.
up on his wall.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he for some reason I feel like ends up with a lot of trinkets. I think because he wears them.
I tried to give everybody like a little trinket.
But I remember he's just one of the more, like, even in character, personable Vox. He's like, I don't know anything about this man, but he's a very friendly man. Helped me with my armor when it was falling apart for a second. So yeah.
Yeah, Steve is his name, if I remember correctly, and so I hope I've remembered it correctly. But Steve, and he is just such a kind, cool dude. Like,
yeah.
I really can't say enough about the GW staff. Like, they're great people. Yeah.
And then I never. This was the one left behind. Never got to interact with this one at all. I don't. I know nothing. I know nothing about who this was.
Clearly,
so that. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say clearly a chaos something, right?
They got chaos runes all over the bolter.
Kind of, and yes. So it was basically like a Mordian that was kind of discarded in a way, and then, but also corrupted enough by like chaos and the things happening on Mordian at the time to have lost memory of who they were. So they didn't know why they were there or who they were. And so that's why there was the one left behind. And this is Brian. And Brian is one of the most humble people I've met, and is also part of the Nova team, and is also very talented as a hobbyist, as a player. And so nobody got to hardly see Brian's face until the last day. And he was not, for the final photos, Brian was not in his cosplay, right? So he was dressed normally. But where is...
This was the photo with the winners.
Yeah, it's the winner. So Brian, we was with Voxel Calms. He was in the other photos. It's only Lords of War and players. But,
gotcha.
But that was Brian for the one left behind.
Nice.
So to give him credit for his amazing cosplay and acting.
And who else? We briefly talked about
Red.
Is Yolt Kest, I think, was the character's name, and then Luther Carr, who was Chris number 1.
Chris.
Yeah.
And Red and Chris are brothers.
Yeah.
Yes. And for those who got the benefit of seeing the Jacaro and the other couple kids running around.
Jacaro was funny.
Those are Red's kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who got to play characters while hanging out at the Grand Narrative.
I will say on Sunday, the last game I didn't end up with an opponent, which was fine because I was exhausted. But Chris came out to Red. He's like, hands him a knife. And he's like, what's that? He's like, what's that? He said, well, your son said you told him to hold it. He's like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. So it was a funny interaction to see the like family dynamic in these events because you don't expect it, kind of like behind the scenes. But it's such a welcoming environment. It's such a fun environment. And
I think
I don't know.
The last one, which I think this is the last one, was Hrolf Stonesinger.
Man after my own heart, Will, who is just what I mean. They're all just such kind people.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about it. Like nobody's ego gets in the way. Like they are just so kind, and they're all there to have everybody have a good time. And I've interacted with Will for a couple of years now, at least, where he's worked the Grand Narrative over and over again, and he's just always so inviting and so nice. And so he was running Fenris by himself, two giant rooms by himself.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah.
And they weren't close. The entrances to those rooms were not close.
No.
Oh no, they were entire hallway.
He had to do a lot of cardio.
And the sister to get there.
Yeah.
Which real quick, if we're talking about the Voxes, I gotta shout out Steel here because when I gave you my Wraithstone for your boon, you launched into a monologue that was literally enchanting. And like, I'm like, wait, I kind of know this man. I did not expect this. So, full disclosure, we're singing everyone else's praises, but Steel also barely broke character, even when I joked about the fact that he came into our stream to talk about the sex appeal of the Cadian Codex.
He did do that. Hey, check out that our codex review whenever that codex came out. I can't keep track anymore.
I don't know.
Like almost a year ago now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
out of all the
we gotta have
boxes,
you on
you
for another
definitely gave me the most shit. Like,
for sure.
What I think it was during that game 5 when I was playing against Jesse that like you came up and you were like asking me for a Wraithbone. I'm like, nah, man, I already gave you a pity Wraithbone earlier because I gave him one Wraithbone during the event.
So I guess let's for anyone not there. So the plot, there was some portals being opened, and we were using Wraithbone to stop the portals and or activate the portals.
Yeah. So it was Imperium was trying to close all the portals. Magister Vorsh was trying to open them all up so Shaddam would basically like reform in real space, I guess. And then Xenos also wanted to close it because Trazen's like, what the hell are you, all of you idiots, doing? Please close. Please stop. Please stop whatever you're doing. And he was trying to like build Blackstone pylons everywhere. He's like, I've seen this before. I know what happens. Please don't. So yeah, it was like a fun dynamic, and there was like a civil war in the Chaos side because the vessel was a demon host that Armon had created, and then kind of like cast off at some point, and it was still following Vorsh around, like sapping his power, and we ended up getting split at the end of the event, where half the people were like, we should follow the vessel because that is like Tzeentch's true will, and everybody else was like, follow Vorsh because he has like a little bit of mortal in him, and so he's not in theory gonna just let us all die, hopefully.
Sure. I should note the assassin I think also wanted to open the portals.
He was like very hesitant about going through them. I'm not 100% sure what his end game was.
Yeah, I'm not either.
The assassin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can share it now. I feel like I can share it. And it was that, and he said it at the beginning. So no, I'm not spoiling anything. So he was like, oh, so Shaddam, right? This kind of lost Drakari city, Dark Eldar city. And he was like, oh, he doesn't understand what the Webway is, right? Like he doesn't know what the Webway is, but he's starting to get the idea of, oh, wait. So Shaddam has this stuff, these portals, right? And these portals take you to other places in the galaxy. So what if the Imperium casts aside its rigid logic and then use these portals so like him as a Vindicare assassin, right, could go out, I think he was a Vindicare, could go out and make his kills easier. Traveling.
You're right, he did say that, yeah.
Yeah. Which is obviously heresy.
Sure. But again, and this is something that like in something like this, it's hard to keep nuance, right?
Yeah.
But like, so one of the reasons why I made a point to do the Deathwatch pad for my Templar is because Templars are so rigid and Deathwatch isn't, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be interacting with people that are not, not all Sisters of Battle or Templars, right? Like I needed an explanation. So like it's kind of funny to me because that's a very almost Deathwatch motivation of like, well, we could use the Xenos tech to kill Xenos, so it is kind of ironic that that's the turn of events that was the conflict.
Yeah.
But again, like it's so hard to get that like that nuance in an event like this that because if you don't understand Deathwatch, which most 40k players don't, again as a Deathwatch player I will tell you they're more nuanced than the militant arm of the Order Xenos. That there's more to it. But yeah, it's just so cool to see like all the different motivations come to fruition, because there is that's the thing with this, that there is a turn of events that could have led to that happening. And much like last year with the Rogue Trader, where ultimately the Imperium won last year, but the Rogue Trader was fired out of a cannon, I think, or her ship was
she holdo maneuvered,
like lost to the warp. Yeah, she holdo maneuvered.
She self-destructed a piece of Necron technology. Necron or Orc?
I think it was
Necron. Or maybe
oh
it
no,
was
yeah. Maybe
it
it
glowed
was both.
green.
Yeah,
it was something.
I think it was Orc. It was Orc. Yeah.
Oh, it was
right?
it was their giant bullet that they wanted to fire out of the giant gun.
Yeah, the mega ball.
Yeah.
And the Rogue Trader decided to self-destruct it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says it was Necron.
Everyone else.
Everybody said we're idiots, and it's Necron.
Necron. Okay, fine, it's Necron. Listen, I was just trying to hold back the tears as the Rogue Trader like sacrificed herself to save everyone, and I'm like, this doesn't happen in Warhammer, man. Like, and so that's one point I want to make right now for everybody watching the stream and watching this later. None of the story is predetermined.
Right.
None of it. This is determined by the players and the mechanics of the game a little bit and the player interactions. It really is. And so one of the most stressful things about this, not for the voxel columns, not for me, but for the Lords of War, is having to learn lines and story minutes before going out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And this is where I felt so bad, and I hope they're not in the stream right now. But there was a group of 2 players in Sanguiterra. And you all know, I think everybody knows me in the stream. I'm pretty easygoing, pretty nice guy. I was in character, so I was like harassing everybody. Sorry, Jordan. But I was harassing everybody, right? And there were these 2 players. I finally walked up to them at some point and I said, you submit your scores now or you will have no scores.
Yeah.
And they would look at me like, oh, well, they were trying to do the thing like talking through the next 2 turns of the game without actually playing them. And they were like, well, what if the vehicle blows up? And then what if this happens? And listen, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but all I'm saying is I knew behind the scenes, behind the curtains, like, I got to get this submitted now.
Yeah.
Or the game they just played isn't going to matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, guys, like there's deadlines because we got to check all this stuff in the background and we got to talk about it, talk what you all did, and then talk about, okay, so what's the next stage of the story? How does everyone's character arc develop from this?
And ultimately, there's less than an hour from when that game ends and when they're on stage narrating it.
Or like the next briefing, yeah.
Oh, no, that was the problem, and that's where I got a little bit short with them because it was like 35 minutes until the next briefing.
It was,
and I finally was like, "You're done.
Yeah,
you're done. I want scores now in my data slate.
Yeah,
or your zeros. Like, come on, guys, go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I hate to ever do that to players. I want everybody to have a good time, but you know, it's like I wanted their score to make a difference, and I wanted them to contribute. And it's like you got to give up who wins or loses here. Like you got to let go of that, and you got to
call it a draw. Yeah.
It's like cool. If it's coming down to a vehicle blowing up, doing mortal wounds to a squad, that sounds like it could be a draw.
I know. Like, I talked to several players that were like, me and my opponent, we got to the game, and we were both like, we're going to make the main mission a draw. We're going to ignore it. And they're like making like deals with Wraithbone and like all sorts of shit. And they're like, we'll make the main game a draw, and then we can both complete our like secondary faction objectives. And like there was all sorts of like wheeling and dealing going on between the players. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, well, and also I think that there was a question in the chat about missions before we started. Some of the missions weren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like, so The way they did missions this time was a little bit different. So the way they did them last year, and I assume the previous 2 years, is each round had a mission that everyone was playing. Right.
Yep.
So round 1, everyone played a mission that was plot relevant.
Yeah.
This year they changed it up for better or worse. There was one mission per room, unless Seal, you can correct us if I'm wrong. I don't know if those changed at all.
It was one mission like, per faction per room.
Right, one mission card per room.
Yeah,
that listed an Imperial, Xenos, and Chaos set of missions, which I thought was an elegant way of having missions that were a little bit more fair and balanced than the previous years.
Yeah,
but
and you could. I think you could like make them a little bit more personalized by splitting them up like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I like that they were split up by faction. I will say I did miss some of the more intricate or plot-driven mission points. The setting, like setting the beacons and stuff like that from last year. But some of those last year came down to who had first turn. Which I think was probably an issue. Whereas this year, I felt like they were all very balanced. They were all very fun. I think that the Imperium missions were a little repetitive. They were all, hold point, capture point missions, whereas the Chaos and Xenos had like sabotage and
I'm pretty sure
perform action stuff.
As Chaos, I'm pretty sure there was a point where we did the same mission like twice.
That's possible.
It was something like hold objectives and then like kill people on objectives or something. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. But they were some of them were pretty similar. I'm pretty sure it was like written that way. I don't know if it was on purpose, but
yeah, I mean, it was. Go ahead.
The intent was that you would, even if you played on the same planet twice, which I know you both did.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because I got to harass Jordan multiple times. And so, like, and got the pleasure of recording Sean's score multiple times. So, like, with that, it was that you would play, like, say, Jordan, your Chaos, right? You would play the Imperium once and then Xenos once on that same world. But because Interlopers and Chaos had different, like, mission goals for that same planet, you were kind of playing two different games, even though you personally had the same goal. Well, sorry, you were Chaos, so against Imperium. Anyways, you heretic. God, one day I'm going to convert you over. So, and that was the goal. And I did like that from a staff point of view. And I'm still like scratching my head. Do I want to integrate that into my Adepticon narrative? Because I did think that was a neat idea. Like execution is one thing, but as a concept, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
I did like how the previous ones were like they were like just a little more abstract than like sit on this objective. It to some extent it still felt like I was just like playing normal match play 40K.
Well, I don't know
in some instances.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I do think the missions felt I think I liked having different objectives than my opponent. I think was a nice change.
I did too.
A nice change from match play 40K, which may be something we try on the channel here and there, because that's a kind of a cool just way to spice up the game. Also, Chad agrees. Good to know that you run the Adepticon event, because if we ever get a chance to make it out, that'd be fun.
And I do real quick want to mention that part of this too was that the deployments were just standard like match play deployment zones. Including the placement of the objectives. So we were just playing like Dawn of War, Crucible Battle, just like all the normal ones.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that as much. I like that's fine.
I do think different tables had different deployment zones, even if they were playing the same missions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Now on top of that, we also had the faction priorities each round. So our or priority objectives each round. Our Lord of War in the briefings would, at least was supposed to, give us a faction objective, break their lines, kill their warlords, something like that. They would do it in character. Those did not always get passed down appropriately. However, they did fix that by having the bot in the Discord reiterate those to us in the war rooms, which was great. I support using the Discord for communication because it's a little on, like I think it's on theme. Like there would be a servitor, saying here's your dispatch of what you have to do, right? So I always, last year I always prioritized whatever that side objective was. This year I very much did the same because you're going to complete, especially with the way these were worded this year, you're going to complete those in the course of completing the other missions. Or at least you can. Last year, there were some cases where those did mutually exclude themselves, which is kind of interesting. There were certain objectives that, like, if you're going for, especially in an army, I don't have very many units in my army. You're gonna lock yourself out of one or the other, potentially. Yeah. But I did like that the way the core missions were worded this year, you never locked yourself out of one or the other. Again, for better or worse, maybe that like choice is good for a narrative event, but
maybe it was like different for Imperium, but like I felt like ours didn't always line up, and like it didn't bother me that was the case. And there were even like in my last game, and I kind of like that they did this. We never got told, like, we were told open/close the door was like our faction priority. And nobody ever told us what that meant, like what we're supposed to do. And so I got to the table and I talked to my opponent and we're like, okay, so like this is what I was told. How do you want to do this? And we ended up settling on like I had to do an action on the deployment or on his deployment zone objective because he had the like Noctilith crown on that, and I'm like, shit, that looks like a door. I have to do an action over there. So that was good. It was like that's the kind of like more abstract shit that I like, and I felt like this year people have kind of, I guess, been trained by the previous events to know that like that's going to happen and be ready for that, and they were like very much on board with that.
Yeah, and I had Noctilus Crown is a great example because there's a bunch of those on these boards. I don't know like how many
I glued those together. They were like half of them were freaking broken.
Sure.
And the staff, we opened up so pull back the curtain. We open up the terrain crate and we pull out these Noctilith crowns, and I'm not kidding. More than half, I think four were whole. The rest were shattered. And I looked at the staff and I said, we can't do this. Like, I just looked at her and said, can I fix these? Can I fix these? And I'm like manic. And they're like, yeah, man, whatever. And I'm like, can somebody get glue? I need glue.
I would be the same way. I'd be the same way.
Yeah. I think Teresa ran to the store before it was open, got me glue. And I just sat there like a crazed little like cultist on the stairs in the back room, like re-gluing the Noctilith crowns. And everyone kept coming to me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "They're perfect for Sanguiterra. They must be complete." And I'm like putting them together, and they're like, and people are walking into the stairs and they're like, "Oh my god, it smells like glue in here." And I'm like, "You want to sniff some?" And they're like, "Dude, like steel needs a water break." And I'm like, "No."
On Sanguiterra, the fact that there was a Noctilith crown in the deployment zone decided which was our deployment zone. That's so my opponent was like, well, I'm taking the side with the Noctilith crown because I'm playing Chaos.
Defend it.
So yeah. So that was a that like the boards. I know, Jordan, you had some problems with some of the boards because you
no
way.
So look. It's I didn't have a problem playing on these boards, but if it was somebody other than me, probably would have been a little mad because these boards were not made with like Genestealer cults in mind.
Sure.
There were so many open firing lanes, basically until like my very last mission. I basically didn't have anywhere to hide anything, and so I just got shot off the board every time, which is like, it's fine. I don't really care. I would rather have an interesting board to play on than have like a completely balanced board.
Sure.
Wait, so I'm curious about this. Which, if you don't mind me, Jordan, and
Sure.
I know this is a little bit sidetracked, and then Sean, I want to continue with like, I love that insight. By the way, I didn't know you all as players were making those decisions.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That makes me so happy to hear that. Like, that is beautiful. But Jordan, I'm curious, were there particular planets, right? So we had 6 planets, 6 deployment zones. We had a Mordian. We had a kind of tainted Mordian area. We had Sanctum. We had Sanguiterra. We had Fenris and Catachan.
So
Did you feel like it was tables or particular planets and how they were set up terrain?
It was definitely, I think I was just getting unlucky with tables, because I would like look at other tables and be like, okay, yeah, that's like got more terrain for me to hide behind. Too bad I'm not there. But like definitely like my first game was pretty bad. I think there was like one ruin that I could hide behind on like my entire half of the board, and my opponent, who I think is in chat, was playing Imperial Fists, and was just like, I sat down and I'm like, oh no, this isn't good, and he's like, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, what planet was that on?
That was Fenris, I think.
So I did think Fenris was a little light.
Fenris was light.
And whatever the ice planet was last year was the same way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Which I think that's just like part of playing on that, and I like maybe I as a player just need to be more prepared for there to be just wide open boards. But like as a GSC player, that's a little difficult. Fenris was a little rough. Catachan was close. Catachan, like I could, it had, I guess, a decent amount of cover, but like it was all small cover, so like there was still just a shit ton of firing lanes just crisscrossing each other all over the place.
Yeah.
Mordian was my last game, and I felt like Mordian, basically all the boards in, I think it was Mordian A maybe, that I was in, like A, B, and C that were on next to Hanover. Those were all, I felt like, pretty good, as far as the boards. I don't remember where else I played.
Well, I will say, I had the opposite problem a couple times, where there were some boards that were too congested, which I knew from last year, that's intentional.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's the big like orc shipwrecks and stuff that like clog the whole board. And I think Sanguiterra was one of them that was really clogged, and my poor opponent was playing Iron Warriors, so he didn't have a lane to move his tank.
Oh no, he just was stuck in a parking lot.
Well, no, what we ended up doing was we ended up just pulling 2 buildings off and putting them back at the end.
Yeah.
Which in my head, like that's the intent, right? Like that's the intention. Talk to your opponent, right? Like, there's
especially at like an event like this.
Yeah.
Get to your table. First thing, talk to your opponent about like, here's the terrain on the board. Do we want to change it? And like, how do we want to rule all this terrain? Do that, and then you like talk about mission. Like, here's like my objective. How do we want to do this? I know there were people that were just fully, they would go to their Vox and be like, we don't want to play this mission. Here's the mission we're proposing, and they played that mission instead.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I did that with my the Chaos Templar that I played.
Yeah.
Vox put a Mechanicum coin that was up in Sanctum, I think is the name.
Yeah, that was Steve. Yeah.
Steve put a Mechanicum coin and said, "All right, whoever has the Mechanicum coin at the end gets 3 extra Wraithbone." And we changed whatever parameters he had because we just put our 2 marshals in the center of the board and just had them fight it out the whole match. Now, that was poor calculation on my part because I was running a regular marshal and he was running Karn as a marshal, which just dishes out mountains of damage.
Yes,
that
correct.
I can't keep up with. But but like that was a good thematic, that was a fun thematic thing to do, and I think that's really what this is meant to. Yeah, this was Cinqueterra. That
Okay, so I set up none of the orc tables.
Yeah, so there's just this wall of terrain across, and right there where my Redemptor is one of the spots we pulled the building because it was just a wall of terrain.
Some of those orc tables were literally set up circular, and with like a big giant double-story ruin of orc terrain in the middle, and then a circle of orc terrain around it, and so it was a giant wall metal death pit.
That was like when I played on Cinqueterra, that was mine.
Yeah,
it was just like a giant orc fortress directly in the middle of the board, and then everything around it was just wide fucking open.
There was my first. So the Cinqueterra was the same terrain used for the orc moon, like the garbage moon, whatever that they used last year. And there was there's like one piece of terrain that's just a big crashed orc ship that I swear takes up half the board, and that was my first match in the narrative last year. So like that has set my standard for terrain, right?
That
so I don't expect
wild, by the way.
Yeah.
I played on that too last year.
This was another Iron Warriors opponent up in Mordian, and we actually ended up doing a 2v1 because you'll notice there's a Empire tank there that's not mine, the big laser destroyer thing. Because
the kill sphere. That's what the junk.
The kill sphere. Yeah, that's it. We had 2 Templars on my battle group, myself and another one, and we ended up doing 2v1 against Iron Warriors, and again picking terrain based on thematic, picking deployment zones. We picked the side with the what's the Dark Angels terrain piece you want, Jordan? You don't have
the Fortress something Redemption.
Yeah. So we picked the side with the Fortress of Redemption and the wall going across with the gun emplacements, because that's where the Sons of Dorn would be, and the Iron Warriors are besieging it, right? Like, so we definitely wanted to pick based on thematic choice where possible. I think that adds so much to right there. So, I just stationed all my dreadnoughts. I playing Iron Warriors. I'm like, all right, I'll bring all my tanks and my dreadnoughts. Next year, I think we're bringing 12 dread.
I wish I had taken pictures of my games. This year, I was literally just like having so much fun with all of my games that I just didn't think about it.
Yeah. I would finish my games. I'm like, all right, I want to go wander around and see everyone's costumes and
like
all that.
All 6 games that I played this year were incredible.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Okay, I made show notes, and I think we strayed a little far from them.
Almost immediately.
Sure.
There's the orc board. Okay, you see, there's the big, just like giant fucking fortress in the middle, and then it had like the dotted little tiny fortresses around the outside, and then it was just like a big ring. And so it was just like I love it. Get out there, nowhere to hide. You're dead.
I want to play on more tables like that. That's what I want.
It's fun.
Okay, I have one point on here that I want to get to, because I'm sure Steel, you don't want to be here all night. Maybe you do. Who knows? Without revealing anything you're not supposed to. How the sausage gets made. What are your highlights from getting to be a Voxel Cal?
So I think my highlights were we had a little bit of flexibility. We did. So we were not rigid. We also had cool backstories. And my only disappointment is the Voxel Callums and their backstories did not get posted until the first day of the narrative. And they went up on the website. Yeah. Which, who playing in the Warhammer Grand Narrative event is going to go on Warcom to read about what happened? Nobody is. They're in the briefings. They're doing this and that. We all had really cool backstories, and so we got to play off that, which was really fun. And mine, I didn't, most of us didn't get to explore them very deeply. But I hinted at players a lot of the times to what mine was, but didn't say, besides Sean, you got to experience where I I sat players down and actually told them tales. And
that was great.
Yeah, and so
I
how
think
the
I have a
sausage is
thought.
getting made, huh?
I continue your thought. I'm gonna get some screenshots, but I have a thought about what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the system this year was really cool. And the system, and I'm talking about mechanics. The mechanics was around Wraithbone. And so players received, it was a very low scoring system in terms of actual victory. Now the games were typical 5-point increments for holding objectives or blah, 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 blah. But then it was well, did you win or lose or tie? Cool. You got 2, 1, or 1 Wraithbone, victory points, right? For doing that. Did you achieve your special objective that the Lords of War gave out, which were pretty abstract? And so you had to interpret that. And sometimes we helped players as Vox Localum. Sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we made up new ones or our own. If we also didn't receive orders and we didn't know what was going on, we're like, cool. We think the story is this, so we're going to tell players to do that and let them have fun, right? And so we had that kind of flexibility, which was pretty cool. And then the third part, though, which was I don't think you all were aware of, and this is where I'm glad, we shouldn't make everything obvious. The Vox Localums could also hand out special, missions in a way. They weren't intended to be mechanics within a game. They often end up being that because players had more fun interacting that way. But if we thought somebody did something epic or absolutely amazing in a game, we could hand out an extra Wraithbone at our own discretion. Or maybe they role-played in a way, or they interacted with us in a way, and we gave them extra Wraithbone for that, as Vox Localums. We could do that. And then players, after receiving the Wraithbone, could then do a few different things with it. They could upgrade their own army and characters and so forth. They could heal their units and this and that or whatnot. I actually didn't get to see the player packet, by the way, so I actually don't know what you all knew on the player side. But really what most players did and what was intended to mostly be done with the Wraithbone was to allocate it to either an alliance or to a specific character, whether Lord of War or Vox Localum, by the way. And so there's giant Excel sheets and everything where we're tracking that meticulously in the background. And I had fun with it because you all know, I was sitting there going, oh, let me pull out my data slate and record this in the administratum records and do-do-do-do-do. And the Chaos players kept going, are you really putting my score in? And I'm like, don't worry. I'm just here to record the history of the battle. I swear. Chaos players are we do not trust you. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. I'm just putting it. And that was really cool. So that was part of the mechanic of how you all determined what you all thought was most important in terms of both the Vox Localums or the Lords of War and the story you all wanted to see evolve. You all were saying, yeah, I want Chaos to succeed. And whether that's through Vorsh or through, say, the Vessel, right? And so you all were allocating your Wraithbone to them. And each of those characters had their own goals with the Wraithbone. And some of them were more obvious than others. The Deathwatch character was studying it to figure out if it could be used to block the portals. Vorsh was using it to open the portals.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. That, I think, and credit to Games Workshop for this and whoever came up with this mechanic, because I don't know who came up with this. Whoever came up with this mechanic, I thought it was really great because it provided you all, as the players, a greater opportunity to interact with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
All across the board. And then all kinds of crazy stuff happened. And so many of us, even Vox Localum, suddenly were begging you all for Wraithbone or begging you to put it other places or just generously accepting it. And yeah, even Jordan gave me a pity one. It's true.
So I probably accidentally helped the Imperium a lot because for the first day and a half, I donated all of my Wraithbone to the assassin. because I was sure he was Chaos.
Sure.
Well, but you kind of did in a way. I mean, they'll end up. We'll get to that. But anyways, so I'm not going to share too much behind the scenes. about like the points and this and that, because that's not what the narrative is about. And that's not fun.
No.
But I will say it was really interesting for us because we could watch where it's like one day, like day one, the players loved Vorsh. They loved the Thousand Suns, and they were like, whoa, this guy's going to do something cool with Shaddam. Bring it into real space. Destroy Mordian, maybe. Open up the Webway for everyone to start using, right? Like, whatever players thought was going to happen,
Yeah.
they loved it. And then they didn't. And then day two, the players were like, you know, this vessel thing is interesting. And day two, the players, and you all noticed, you were sitting in the crowd, and the players started
whispering.
Whispering and echoing the words, the narration of because the vessel never spoke.
Yeah.
So suddenly, if they were like, if the final word of the sentence was close, the players would go, close, close, close.
Yeah.
And it echoed through the room and the players, and it impacted them.
Yeah.
And suddenly Chaos was like, we want to give our Wraithbone to the vessel. The vessel didn't do anything.
No. But their presence was so, and that's entirely based on their presence wandering through the rooms, interacting silently, you know.
Yeah.
And
like,
it's
it was
credit to them for their acting. They're, you know.
Yeah.
It was
they're
so
miming,
interesting
I guess,
to see, like, it wasn't like a forced plot point. It just happened that like this cult formed around the vessel. It was so fucking cool.
Yep.
Even though I was totally against it, it was still cool.
Bingas, as Dave says. Yes. You're boss. I love it. And so it was really cool to see that play out. And so you all, as the players, got to, in a way, wager. There were also parts about it, and I am not going to unveil that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of other things happening with the Wraithbone that you all did not know about that were impacting the scores and things happening. And that's part of the fun. Like you all, and that's part of 40K, right? Isn't it like you think you're doing the right thing and then you find out you actually did support a cult the whole time and you're like,
yeah,
oh, fork,
well,
I just destroyed my planet.
That's the Imperium, right?
Which
like,
that was your
point.
Year 2, I think, where it's like the entire Chaos side basically ended up just like swallowing everyone whole and everyone died.
Yeah. Yeah, Thedge fed them all to Bashtors.
The Soul Forge. Yeah.
Yeah, the souls for the Soul Forge. Yeah.
We still use that chant like 2 years later.
Yeah. Of note, credit to I don't know what battle group number it is, but whatever battle group Elliot was in, was an all Votan battle group.
Except for two.
I think it was 9 Votan or 8 Votan, a kill team player, and a Tau player. But they had all met up last year at the event and coordinated an all Votan play group, and they're just doing whatever they can to trade and do like deals with Wraithbone with players behind the scenes. And then, what can we trade to this box and this Lord of War? And it's so interesting to see the Votan players get so into the like commerce angle of it. And like, what an interesting element to play on. Because they did the same thing last year with the Gubbins or whatever, the shiny Gubbins. Actually, I think I had a shiny Gubbin in my, I had specific dice last year for the narrative. They were Chess X bone dice. They look like they're carved out of bone. So I gave them out to my opponents as I was playing. So I didn't have a full set this year. But that bag, I still had a couple shiny Gubbins in it from last year that I ended up giving to Elliot day one. Because I'm like, here, you could probably trade something for these, right? But I thought having the physical Wraithbone as a player, that physical reward, was so nice. Yeah, I've got a couple still somewhere, I'm sure. I hope so. I hope I still have a couple.
Yeah. We literally had these little like white tokens we gave out.
They're great.
Yeah. So there's the vessel with a handful of them, which that started happening like day 2. Everybody was just like the vessel. And I'm not kidding.
Day 2, she like stood there and basically there was a line just like lining up giving her all of their Wraithbone.
I know, Steele, you can't say this, but I know, Jordan, you did call it simping for everyone's simping for the battle.
But I have to be a little antagonistic towards it because I was completely against it. My whole battle group was completely against it. We were like, no, we're still following Vorsh. What are you idiots doing?
It was good. It was great.
And then some of the Wraithbone, like you all mentioned, it could be used for like these cards that were boons.
Which I think they posted all of these on Warcom.
Yeah, I think so too. And all the missions.
Yeah. All the missions and all the little cards.
They didn't day one. I think only Canon was up there, and then eventually they put it all up there. Yeah. And so the Wraithbone could be used in a lot of ways, and there was all kinds of things. You could gamble your Wraithbone. You could just like dedicate it to a whole alliance and not a specific character. The players had a lot of free reign, and then we also had a lot of secret ways we could work with you on that. Mm-hmm. Do you guys want me to tell my story? I know you all knew because I begged you. But do you all want me to tell the story about the 50 Wraithbone?
Yes.
I
didn't beg. No, I mostly bothered guard players. Okay. So, Teresa's daughter, late one night, day 2, went into the staff room where we had all of our stuff, and on top of my uniform and my cosplay was my infantryman's handbook. And she took it. And so I got ready the next morning. Day 2 or day 3? I think it was day 2. Actually, so day 1 she took it. I woke up day 2 or whatever, and I put on my cosplay and I went, "Where's my handbook?" Like
I did hear you were missing your handbook. I did hear that.
Yes. And then, so I went downstairs, and I'm like, "Where the frick is my handbook?" Right? And I go down to the altar, and there's a note, a handwritten note that says, "For the Imperial Lapdog." And I instantly knew that meant me. And I was like, son of a gun. And I opened it up. And it was like, basically summary. If you want to see your handbook again, give me 50 Wraithbone. Or I'm going to report you to the commissar. And I had 1 round to do it.
Amazing.
So then there was this mini game of me. I'm a staff. I'm a character. And I'm running around freaking out. And I really did. This was definitely day 2. Because here's how I remember going. I was so scared and I was running around because the story is not pre-written. Anything can happen. So I'm going to every guard player and I'm begging them, like, please, I've been given a mission for the Imperium. I have to click 50 Wraith.
You asked me and I was a traitor guardsman.
Yeah, you were a traitor, but I was desperate. I was like, I'll take it from anyone who'll give it to me, right? And word got around and folks were just giving me everything they had. Like I was getting 1, 2, 3. I got 5 from one person, right? And I'm just like, cashing all the Wraithbone I can. And finally, it was going so poorly that Lydia, who was the sister of battle with me on Sanguiterra, said, go to the other planets. Leave Sanguiterra, because we weren't supposed to do that. We were supposed to stay at our planet, so it was on theme. Like, why would I be leaving Sanguiterra to go to Catachin and Fenris and everything else? So Lydia was like, you got to go, because if you don't...
You have a lore reason to leave now.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I got authorization to do warp transit. And I ran to every battle zone. And I'm begging everyone for Wraithbone. And I get to 37. There's like an hour and a half left in the round. It's the first round of the day. I'm at 37, but I'm getting nervous. And what happens is somebody says something to one of the players who was dressed as a commissar. And the commissar is ordered to do a kit inspection on me. And I go to parade rest in the hallway in front of Sanguiterra. And the commissar is going around checking my weapons, helmet, bayonet, all this stuff. Doesn't ask about my handbook. And the commissar goes, okay, I think you're good, Sergeant. Carry on and fight a good war. And I'm like, yes, Commissar. I grabbed that 32 Wraithbone. I shoved it in one of my Canadian Sergeant Steel dice bags. I knew where Teresa's daughter was. Ran in the room, held it out. I said, here you go. And what a clever girl, too. Grabs the handbook and then puts it towards me and then pulls it back and goes, And so she grabs the Wraithbone bag. I grab the handbook. We're both holding on at the same time. And it was like a 1, 2, 3, let go. And then she runs off with the Wraithbone in the bag, but didn't count it. I only had 37. And I held on it, and I put that handbook directly back in my pocket. I walk back on the hallway, and I see somebody talking to the commissar going, "You didn't inspect his kit well enough. There's clearly something missing. Sergeant Vale is a traitor. Sergeant Vale is not properly fighting. You have to inspect him." And I eventually collected the additional 13 Wraithbone I needed, by the way.
Sure.
And I eventually gave it to the kiddo because they deserved it.
50 Wraithbone 2 is so much, especially because I remember at the end of day 1 or at the end of day 2, one of the days, no, at the end of day 1, whoever the Vox was didn't give me any Wraithbone. They said I had to spend it then. Because
some of them were doing that, yeah.
Because they were running low on Wraithbone.
We were running out.
Yeah.
Right. Which meant if you had come to me, I wouldn't have had any Wraithbone to give you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, and I know a lot of people were having a lot of Wraithbone, a lot more Wraithbone than, and again, I was winning. I was acing my games, so however people were getting more Wraithbone is a little suspicious.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
I know how. And it was a lot of like custom wild interactions happening.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. The Witch Hunter Red was and Chris were doing a lot of really cool stuff, and I didn't realize that till the end. I was like, "Oh man, that's clever." That's cool.
But it's funny because Chris was the one that I think had me spend my Wraithbone right then and there. But
yes,
yeah, but they were both great. They were both. I mean, Chris, I know. Chris is Mordian. He was a Marine. So I asked him, I said, "Were you a Marine?" He's like, "Yeah, I was." So it's like on point for being a fucking Mordian, I know a lot of people were turned off by his brash. Go on. Yeah.
My very first interaction at the Grand Narrative this year was we were all standing in a group talking or something. And I was like in my full costume and everything, and he comes up to me with this giant fucking syringe, and he's like, "Have you had your inoculations, good guardsman?" And I'm like, "No, absolutely not." And then it's like, "Good guardsman, do you see all of this? What do you mean, good guardsman?"
Point to the Nurgle logo on your shoulder.
And then I tried to give him a blessing, and he threw it on the ground.
Yeah, they were both great. They were both both fun. Really great in character.
Yeah.
What are your for all of us? Do we have any highlights of the event overall, like interactions, things that you thought were done particularly well? So for example, you said you didn't see the player packet. The player packet was mostly the same as last year. In fact, I think it might have been the same upgrades as last year.
Okay.
But I liked that it was I liked the way it was formatted this year as an actual booklet, as opposed to being loose sheets. That was huge. I just feeling it felt. I don't know if I want to say more official or like more efficient. A little bit both. But it was it was a little booklet instead of like last year we got sort of loose cardstock sheets.
Yeah.
And because we also got to keep all of our mission cards, those got really mixed up and confusing. And by the last day, you can't find anything. But that was really nice.
I was explicitly told you were not supposed to keep those.
Last year?
This year?
No, this year you weren't supposed to.
Oh, you're talking about last year.
I'm talking about last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's what happened. This is a true story. So me and Lydia are running Cinque Terre, right? Round 1, I told everybody you can't take them. Nobody took one. Round 2, I got busy, forgot to say it. 11 out of 36 went missing.
No.
And I went on a hunt.
Sean, how many do you have?
None. I do have. No, these are last year's though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have all of my ones from last year still.
Yeah, last year they were loose like this.
Yeah.
Don't get
caught with the contraband.
Again, they were nice. Well, even if I had it, my stuff is still downstairs in the big old tote that I had.
Sure.
But I don't have any because again, they were simple. Like you don't need them. They're simple missions. I did like this from last year, the priority exfiltration that we got on a data card. Like that's the stuff that I did miss this year. But
The Fragos were amazing, and we only got one, right?
We might have gotten a second one. I don't remember. I'd have to thumb through that whole stack.
I only got one as an Imperium player. That was it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that last year. I think that was a good system that would have been nice to see again. But I think overall the way the Wraithbone was handled, the way the upgrades were handled, where at the end of each game you got 2 upgrades. So you don't even not paying for anything. You just get a weapon upgrade and a trait. I think a lot of people missed that because they didn't read the packet, right? They just assumed, it says battle traits.
I didn't realize it until the end of day 2.
Yeah, so in the description for the battle traits in that packet, it says at the end of each combat window or whatever it says, pick a battle trait and a weapon trait. I am of the opinion that we should not use Crusade rules for this event. That we don't need it. On top of the Wraithbone and the free battle traits like that, you don't need it. Just use the simplified Crusade rules that are in that packet, because it just adds so much extra bookkeeping that takes away from.
And the schedule is so compressed that most players can't complete their full Crusade tree anyway. Yeah. So there's almost no point.
Yeah. So I'm of the opinion that you don't need it, especially with and this year, especially because the packet was so good, because the Wraithbone upgrades were so good. And then because you also had the the Lords of War dropping free extra traits and stuff. You don't need it. The Crusade is going to happen naturally through what's happening. You know, and maybe maybe you can use your faction Crusade rules for upgrades and stuff if you really want, but we don't need you have access to Leviathan and you have access to every Crusade book. We don't need that. That's just extra.
Yeah.
Bloat that I don't think.
And the other thing, which I'm sorry in chat if you guys were the ones doing this, but playing after hours games just to pump up your XP and shit is really I think against the spirit of the event.
Wait, do people do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've done it every year.
You're not supposed to.
No, they've never said not. They've never said not. We've
asked them 3 years in a row now, and
multiple battle groups have asked, and they don't answer it.
They will not give a ruling on it. There's a ton of people that just power game that, and it's that's fully against the spirit of the event, in my opinion. So
I agree.
I think if you just axe the Crusade rules out of it, you lose that problem too.
So this is where I used my power as a Vox Localum, because I could give out special missions, like I was saying earlier. Mm-hmm. And I'd walk in and I'd see somebody have
someone says in the chat, I'm sorry to cut you off. Someone in the chat says some folks were 8 to 12 games ahead.
That's insane. Yeah, I won't name names, but somebody told me that they walked up to a table on day 2 and said, I have 29 Crusade upgrades. It's nope, you gotta stop, man.
No, at that point, that's when me and Thunder Punch and Sergeant Dagger and all of them group around the table and we're just
hey, look, I'll come help you with that one, even as a Trader Guardsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. We even got Abaddon standing there going,
tisk tisk.
Yeah. Abaddon's just no, this is heresy. Yeah.
I'm glad you're like me, that you swap between Abaddon and Abaddon just to make people question it.
I'm gonna have everybody's I'm sorry, you're gonna get so many comments about that after the stream. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Trazen,
no,
whatever.
I have a rule. The character is Abaddon, the paint is Abaddon.
Yes.
I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy.
And it's because the GW paint team calls it Abaddon Black.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I think that it just you don't need the Crusade rules. There's already so much going on that while yes, I think that it's a good way for GW to, I don't know, sell or market Crusade. And I think that that is a needed thing, but you already have like Crusade Rules Light in the packet. And that like is kind of all you need to sell it because we're only playing 6 games, you know?
Yeah. You know, so as an event organizer, what I would like to see happen, because here's what I do agree with. Playing 3 narrative games in one day is too much. I have full 2,000 points. That's too much. It's exhausting. I used to do it to the Nova narrative. I will not do it anymore. It killed me. So I won't do it anymore. And I love Chris and his events, but I'm just like, no, I'm not signing up for your nighttime stuff, dude. Deuces, I'm out. I'm going to bed, whatever. What I think they should do, and here's what I would recommend and what I think they should embrace is, and this is where I think the spirited narrative could really flow out for some options. Evening should have an option of like boarding actions, combat patrol, or kill team.
So year two, they did that.
Yes, but without telling us what was going to happen, so none of us could prepare. They just like were like, surprise, you can go play kill team, and it's like, I didn't bring my kill team.
I don't know the rules for kill team. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure year 2 they were like it was like a whole. I forget they had a word for it, but it was like a whole separate thing where they were like, you go play these kill team missions and they affect like the story starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Which that was sick.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if in the evening we had boarding actions tables, right? Which is like an hour and a half game, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hour and a half, 2 hour game. So you play a game of boarding actions, right? And maybe even 2 games. Maybe it's that relaxed. You have a nice evening. And then the next day it's like, oh yeah, well, they took a hold of a teleportarium. And now an extra unit gets to deep strike in for your game and your planet because the teleportarium up in the orbit is held. Or maybe they get to do a bombardment on the planet. Or maybe you get extra reinforcements because they're bringing down Arvis lighters with like extra unit. Whatever, man. Like, but you come up with a way, but also then it's like, cool. So you only get to use a few units, maybe get an upgrade on a few units, not your whole army. You don't get to like take it out of control and get way ahead. It's just a small little fun thing. And even then it's like, so I love this system where they offered you all to be like, you automatically get 2 upgrades after every game. That's rad. And I love that was a great way to expose people to Crusade and everything available in it, because Crusade's got a lot of cool stuff in it. But then it's like, cool, so if you do boarding actions, you get 1 upgrade.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you still get like the sense of progression without like the abusable power gaming shit.
Or even you get the, hey, you get an extra you get a Wraithstone for every game you play at night.
Well, I know they played.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
They played an Apocalypse game on the Saturday night, and that was like that affected the story. I don't know how, because I don't know what the hell happened in that game. Except I saw a stack of tanks. I don't know what that was about. But like that was cool because like A, it just like kind of happened naturally, and B, at least I hope nobody there was like doing that specifically just to abuse the Crusade mechanics.
They were. Some were.
Maybe.
Some were, but I will say the people who originally organized that were not.
Right.
So
I believe that.
Yeah.
And as an event organizer and as a player, okay, listen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. I'm gonna take off my humble shoes.
Do it.
And I'm just gonna put my ego out there. Okay. I have won 3 Spirit of the Narrative Awards, 2 at Nova, and 1 now at the Solar, the Dallas event I just went to that Rachel ran and Joe, who are amazing. And so I have been voted by my peers of players 3 times now as like the person who embodies narrative play and everyone having a good time. And I'm sorry, but if you're there to min-max Crusade, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry if I offend you. Kind of not, actually. But you're doing it wrong. And And like this isn't about winning. It's about everyone having a fun time. And I'm sorry, I want to know what cool relic power sword my commander finds on the battlefield. And maybe it was left behind by a Mordian like captain, right? And then the Cadians come through and they take up that line after the Mordians have sacrificed their lives, and we pick up that Mordian power sword, and we're like, hell yeah, we're going to carry this on and drive it through the heart of the archenemy. That's what Crusade and storytelling and playing is about. Not going, my Bane Blade has a 5-up feel no pain, a 3-up, invulnerable save. It gets to reroll all hits. It gets to reroll all wounds.
Sustained hits, precision,
sustained hits, precision is a +3 to movement. Also, it resurrects on a roll of a 4-up after it's destroyed, and I can make it auto-explode if I want to. Like, I'm sorry, that's not Crusade.
Yeah,
Right.
That's not Warhammer.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It is kind of Crusade, but it's not narrative.
It's not narrative.
Right?
Yeah. It's not collaborative storytelling, and it's not fun.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, last year, didn't they have, like, you would get rewards specific, like, based on the mission, like, per mission?
Yeah.
Like, based on who won, you would get, like, a specific reward.
There was also
back.
relics. There was also relics in the player packet, I think, which they weren't there this year. There was no specific relics for the Warzone. I also will agree with Thunder Punch. I will take aged Mordian whiskey and a cigar.
Hell yeah. Always.
Oh man, I got that whiskey somebody gave me in here. Oh, no.
Shout out to Thunder Punch, because he is one of the warmest and most intimidating men at this event. Because my first interaction with him last year, my first interaction with him last year was in the chat. I didn't know he was a player when other people had been mentioning Thunder Punch. So I named my tank after him. So my gladiator, the scroll on the front of my gladiator says Thunder Punch. And then my first interaction with him, you got
a photo of that,
right? Can't really see it.
Yeah, that's the one. It's not visible on there, but the scroll on the front says Thunder Punch. But yeah, I mean, he's just such a. He ended up last year coming in and bringing his I think it was a Bane Blade or Shadow Sword or something, and his big ass Valkyries to aid me on the ice planet. Again, I don't remember what the ice planet was, whatever it was.
And that was when they were going around like dropping resources into other people's games, and that was the moment I did my heel turn that year, because he came and was like asked if I needed help, and I pulled out one of my Nurgle GSC tokens and handed it to him. I'm like, no. And like that moment was my heel turn. And after that, as soon as that game was over, I went up to the hotel room, I painted chaos shit all over my armor, chaos shit all over my models, and then I came back down.
Yeah. So I love the narrative. I want to do more of these events. It sounds like there's one at every major, gaming convention. So good to know, because we can start
MomoCon next year, apparently.
Yeah, MomoCon next year. I'm currently unemployed, otherwise I would be start scheduling stuff out. But probably 27 we're gonna hit as many as we can. Adepticon sounds like a good one if you're running it, because I trust you to run a good event.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Wow, that means a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me that you've won the Spirit of the Narrative. Because I didn't actually get the chance to meet you last year. And although you've been on the channel without me here. I watched your videos leading up to the narrative last year, because again, it was my first event. So I'm like, Jordan was like, yeah, watch this guy's videos, he's great. So good. I trust you to run an event, because you obviously get it, and I think that a lot of people, there was talk in the chat about the Grand Narrative not being a tournament. I did have one bad opponent this year, and I didn't know he was a bad opponent until after the game, because I had a blast in the game. But after the game, he said, you really should know your rules better.
What?
And I just And I just looked him dead at, and he's one of the guys wearing a jersey. And like, if you're wearing a jersey to the narrative, I feel like you're automatically in the wrong headspace. And I just looked him in the face and I said, "You're in the wrong." I said, "That's not what this event is, brother." And I just kept packing up my models.
Was the jersey black and white, or did it have blue on it?
So the black and white ones were my battle group. And
was it your ally?
It was not my ally.
Okay.
I don't remember, if I'm being
okay.
honest.
Okay.
I don't
want to like directly call anybody out. I was just curious.
Yeah. I don't remember. I can maybe look at some pictures and find out.
That is
but
what,
yeah,
that's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
Like, I'm looking at I had a fucking tablet mount with my rules on it. Like, that's what the app's there for. Whereas he's like calling out, I get it. Most players who play a ton of Warhammer have their stuff memorized. And most players that are paying this amount of money for an event, yeah, they're probably playing a shit ton of Warhammer. I don't, right? Got other games I want to play.
Well, like, you know how much I play GSC.
Yeah.
But I also play literally 12 other armies. And so, like, I don't have room in my brain for all of that.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, it's real fact. Do you know how often I have to open up my app and go, how many wounds does Hellhound have?
Right.
10.
My
10?
Chimera.
Toughness 10.
Yeah.
Toughness 10.
10 wounds.
11 wounds.
11
with a
wounds?
2-up save.
2-up save. Yep.
But a Chimera is T9 with a
3-up
save.
11 wounds?
You know what I mean? And it's just like...
Yeah. I'm sorry I don't have the rules for my Tech Marine on bike memorized. I don't run him that often. Right?
Where is it?
I don't run it that often.
Oh my god!
So,
I wish edibles were like legal in Atlanta, or maybe they are. I don't know. You should just been like handing out like, "Hey, buddy, here's a brownie. You need this, man."
Yeah.
Like, dude,
chill.
Like,
you need to chill.
Down.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting drugs, kids.
No, but yeah, it was just like it was such a weird thing where, like, I don't know, the rest of the game was like, good spirited, and maybe he was mad that he lost as bad as he did, but like,
yeah, I'm sorry you had that experience, man. That's a bummer.
Yeah, no, I find it doesn't bug me as much as I find it funny.
Yeah,
like that people don't understand like what this event like. Again, I don't do events. I do this one because of what it is. We have friends that are like, "Hey, we're going to go this RTT." I'm like, I have zero interest in that. You have fun, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But narrative events.
I think this year was, I think, maybe the first year that I did not have like a single bad opponent. All of my games were great. I think like the only bummer, which like opponent was great and he warned me ahead of time what was about to happen to me, but his army looked great. It was whatever. I knew what I was getting myself into. Played, I think, every single named Sisters character. It was like the Avengers of fucking Adeptus Sororitas, and I was like, okay, I kind of like already have an idea about what's about to happen to me.
Which like I don't know. I don't know how you feel about named characters. Last year I did bring Helbrecht.
Have
but
fun.
it's my Helbrecht is a custom kit bashed model. It's and my war leader name, whatever. I think
there's a difference between playing a named character and using that named character's datasheet for like your own dude.
Sure. Because it's for me, it's Fleet Marshal Frederick instead of High Marshal Helbrecht. Is my marshal. But this year I just ran him as a regular marshal because I'm like, I'm not going to bring any named characters. Screw it. Like, don't need that. Like some armies need the named characters, but it always feels weird when you're just running the named character as the named character.
Yeah,
and it's like,
which I guess to be
maybe that's a high explanation.
To be unfair to myself, I did bring Deathleaper this year, which is technically a named character.
Is it?
It's just a big lictor but it's
Okay.
I think it's the only epic hero that GSC technically has access to.
I didn't realize it was a named character even.
Yeah.
Potato Wranglers, that was you with the Yarick as dry. Oh my
That's
god,
funny.
the army was beautiful. Sorry, I just saw that.
No.
You're good.
That's what we're here for, right? We're here to gush about narrative. So, okay, last point. Do we have any last final thoughts?
I do want to show these off because it was a fucking bummer, man. Part of my display board was that I was supposed to have this folder of dossiers that I had been building. I had been building these fucking things for months. I had a dossier built for every one of my named characters. I wrote out an entire investigation log from the point of view of an Inquisitor. And then I like wrote detailed analyses of like all 3 of my factions. And like I had all of these, and the day that we were doing Armies on Parade, I lost the folder. It just like fully disappeared off of my cart. I have no idea where it went.
No!
But like I spent so long working on these things, and then it all just all went missing. These were fun. I might like just drop this PDF in the Discord, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you bring your army next year, and we have another like Witch Hunter, Inquisitor, whatever, like you should intentionally pass your folder off to an Imperium player to pass it off to the Inquisition.
I'm probably gonna make multiple copies next year.
Yeah.
Just so like I can do weird in character shit with it.
I will absolutely deliver it to an Inquisitor for you.
Hell yeah.
And I'm bringing a Deathwatch contingent next year, so it would be on theme.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm for sure bringing. Well, I guess we don't know if maybe 11th edition. We don't know what the rules for allies and stuff are going to be, but
that's true. I might just like lose access to Brood Brothers and
Tyranids. True.
Which if I lose access to those things, I'm going to be really fucking bummed out.
You won't lose access. There's no way you lose access to Brood Brothers, but Tyranids, who knows?
But this Trigon, dude.
I love that fucking conversion.
I have to be able to bring my Trigon because this was like everybody's favorite model that I had.
I've been saying it for weeks. What did I say? Like 3 weeks ago? Like I when we were filming last 2 Mondays ago, I was like, this is the best fucking.
Yeah, I think my Trigon was my best model in my army for sure.
It's just a clever use of those parts.
Dude, it's brilliant kit bash. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
It's so good. Steel, what are your closing thoughts, Steel?
My closing thoughts is I just want to touch on actually the story.
Mm-hmm.
And that is I liked how, because I didn't know what was going to happen, none of us did, and it was a little bit of a cliffhanger. So for reference, my favorite like video game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. And if you get rid of all the sequels or anything like that, when that game originally ended, you didn't really know what happened to the characters, right? All that really got answered was that the planet survives and Midgar kind of returned. You know, no spoilers. This game is almost 30 years old. The city of Midgar kind of returns to like this natural like environment. You know, trees and plants growing all over it, rather than the industrial wasteland that it was. And you see the species that the Red 13 character is kind of running around. I love stuff like that where it leaves it open. And I think this year that was a good call on whoever was writing the story behind the scenes, where Trazyn, the very end, is like, do I take Vorsh? Do I take the vessel? Or do I take somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
Do I take all of them? And then it just wasn't answered.
Mm-hmm.
And Vorsh is like on his deathbed, it seems. And it's like, is Vorsh going to die? Is the vessel going to sap out the life from Vorsh?
Yeah. It was like very like open-ended on basically every front.
Yeah, except for the assassin Vale, who was
murdered.
He
he had a very final end.
Sure. I will say I did like you told me at one point where you were on the end of the row and you
So
and
that
you
was
thought,
the day I had to get 50 Wraithbone.
yeah.
And I was afraid somebody reported me to the watch captain or somebody else. And so all I was told is Chris, who was playing the Mordian lieutenant, comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, so we're gonna have everybody come up front to do Unity with the watch captain, right? We were gonna do a Civil War, but now we're not. Because we think, everyone's gonna back the watch captain, so we're not gonna do a Civil War. So we're all gonna come up there, but you come up from this side and join us. Okay?" And I'm like, I look at Chris and go, "Okay." And I go over and I go to the side and I went, "Wait, why am I standing by myself?" And then I'm like looking around and like Chris and Red and everybody else, all the other voxel counts are the other side, right? And Tom went, I literally had the thought and I went, "Oh frick, they're gonna kill me because I didn't have my Infantryman's Handbook on me. Like they're gonna assassinate me in front of everybody." Because my character was written not to fall to chaos. I was written that way, not to fall to chaos. And so I was like, well, they know they can't get rid of me to chaos, so they'll just kill me for basic stuff, right? And I was sweating bullets, and I really didn't know till the last moment we got up there, and I was about to raise my chainsword, and I went, "Nobody's put a bolt pistol to my head."
I get to live. Yeah.
I love that. I love that story when I heard you tell it, because it's like, it's such a good example of even you guys don't really know what's going to happen. And like, to an extent, even though you guys are not players, you're playing as much as we are, just from a different angle. Right.
Yes.
I sort of mentioned early on, like for me, 40K is just an extension of like my D&D love. Like essentially you guys are dungeon masters in a way. You're not writing the story, you're just guiding it in a different way than the players are, right? And I think that is such a good thing, like for the narrative, and it's such an interesting way of going about it, and I just love it so much.
Yeah, and so what I will say is to add on to that, just to encourage everybody. So if somebody is watching this for the first time, they're like, "Do I want to go to the grand narrative in this and that?" Or I went and I wasn't sure what to do. Like Sean, you were saying, right? Like, like your second year, and it's like, well, do I interact this way? Do I do this? Do I do that? And I will say, like, play with the characters, play with your opponents, like write a story. They love it. We love it. We want that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're there to do. And even if you're not good at role playing, you don't have to be like the master dungeon master of D&D who can voice like 30 characters and come out with backstories for all these people. You don't have to do that. Like, just go, okay, I'm just going to be spontaneous and do this thing. And I think that kind of makes sense for what I'm doing here, and interact a little bit best you can. And that's good enough, It's the most immersive 40K situation you can put yourself into.
Yeah.
Like
there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
No.
I'll say too, I felt this year more comfortable, like I guess like role playing than like I had in previous years.
It was the shots you took every morning.
The alcohol helped. The alcohol helped a lot. But the thing that like really helped me, and I think it'll help like a lot of people going for the first time or like going again and like trying to get comfortable with it, is I really spent a lot of time thinking about two questions. One question is like, what are my character's motivations? Like, what am I doing here? Like from a greater sense, like separated from like, here you obviously have your chaos, like super faction objectives, but like, what are you doing there? Why are you there? And then second one is, what do you know? Like, what in universe would your character actually know? Because like I was just like a traitor guard sergeant, right? So like I don't really know all that much. I'm basically just following orders.
I think that's a really good point, because then I think that this is where I struggle with the Discord, for example. In the Discord, you got the long text log of everyone chatting back and forth in Discord, and you just have people start naming like, "Oh, well, that's a demon print." Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like your scope in the 40K universe, like that's one of the beauties of the storytelling in the 40K universe is ignorance, right? Ignorance drives everything. Like you said earlier, Steel, you think you're doing the right thing, but because you're ignorant, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Let yourself be tempted, let yourself be swayed, like have a limited scope.
Yeah.
Because playing into it is gonna, you know,
yeah.
give you a better experience.
The Discord this year was so good because they put all of us in the same one. And so we all spent the month leading up to the event just like shit talking each other. Which was so much fun. But like that is your moment to like, you spend that time in that Discord, like even if you're just like talking to your own battle group or talking to your own faction, just like you start developing your character, like your motivations and stuff. You start answering these questions when you're in there. Because there were like people, like for an instance, they started talking about like a Gene Stealer cult in the Discord. And I was just like, I don't know what the hell that means. What are you guys talking about?
Sure.
But like, obviously I'm a Gene Stealer cultist. But I was, indoctrinated to be like, oh, we're the chosen, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know what the hell a Gene Stealer cult is. I'm just following this big angry monster guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all saw, Sean, you may not have seen it as much, but the Chaos Interlopers got to see it a lot, like for my character. Because it was like, I'm playing a character who's literally been through the Webway. Okay? I was. Like, my story really was, I was a Celestinian survivor, Celestinian Crusade, went to Ultramar, was there when the Primarch was resurrected, and then got sent back to Sanguine Terra. And it's like, well, frick. Okay. So anyways, but I was psycho reconditioned, so I don't remember. And also humans don't fathom what the Webway is. We can't understand it. And then I'm psycho reconditioned, so I can't remember meeting the Eldar, but I have these weird glitches in memory, and I'm like, wait, they're kind of familiar, but I don't really know them. Do we shoot them? Do we not shoot them? But I don't know what a Grey Knight is. I don't know what a Custodes is. I don't know what a Night Lord is. I do know what the Black Legion is. And I do know what the Death Guard is, just from Acadian Survivor, because they were there, right? And I get to interact with those armies. And I know what Traitor Guard are, but I don't know what GSC are, so I'm just like, your infantry look ill. You should report to the medic.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what that, right? It's like, cool. I may not like embracing that of like, I didn't know what a demon host was the whole time. And I kept harassing the players going, why are you giving your Wraithbone to a Lord of War that does not exist? Like, you all keep talking about the vessel, but I've never seen the vessel. Like, at least I've seen Vorsh. Like, I don't understand what Vorsh is, but Vorsh has appeared and is real.
I almost feel like that like that's the most important question for you to answer is like, in character, what do you actually know? Because like, you can't be omnipotent because that's A, just fucking boring, and B, impossible.
Yeah. And so many, and so I feel like so many players, especially that are involved in this stuff, like we have the knowledge of it. So we like default to, oh, well, my character is like this super knowledgeable, person.
Like they like started talking about glitchlings and stuff, and it's like my character has never seen a glitchling before. Like, what the fuck is that? But like, obviously, I know what a glitchling is. And then they like started describing it, and I was like, oh, like the little lords, but they're robots. Because like that's what the Death Guard call Nurglings, is the little lords.
Yeah.
So it's like we probably at some point like in our dealings with Nurgle have come across like the term the little lords, but like had never seen glitchlings yet. So it's just like the little things like that, and like developing like your knowledge base and like developing all those interactions early on help you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, go ahead.
No, I did do one thing wrong, and Sean, I owe you something. I did not kneel before you like I probably should have.
No.
True.
Do not.
No,
do not.
Your space.
Yeah. True. Well, next year. So next year I will be on stilts. I don't know how I'll play in stilts, but it will be.
You just take them off before the games. Trust me,
I know.
You'll break your back. Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
You put them
well, that's why That's why, and that's kind of the hard part, right? Like I had to take off the armor every game, and
Yeah.
which was fine. I made it easy to do, but it meant that when the people rotating and stuff came around, like now I'm not in my armor, so I actually bashed my nose when the sister called for all the Imperium into the hallway, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Whatever this is, I want to be in costume for it. So I threw the armor on over my head, and the inside of the gorget clipped my nose, and I was bleeding. Well, not bad, right? But like, it was just funny where I'm like, I really wish there was a better way to just wear the armor and play, but there isn't. I'll knock down buildings and models and what have you. But that is the one bummer about doing Space Marine cosplay at an event like this, is you cannot wear it the whole time.
I'm probably
and expect to play.
Yeah.
I'm probably there's a good chance that I just like fully ditch my current cosplay going into next year. So the armor that I have now is like fully 3D printed, and so it's heavy, but also it turns out kind of fragile because I was just sitting down during the preview show and it just fully fucking split down the back, and I had to duct tape it the next day.
What?
But like, it is what it is. Like I literally painted that armor the morning of the event, like Friday morning, I think, or Thursday morning, before I went, and like the little glowing tubes that I had on my respirator was like, I just decided to do that in the hotel room on a whim. So it's like I'm not like tied to any of this stuff. And I have big plans for next year, so I feel like I don't have enough GSC in there. I like obviously Trader Guard, but not enough GSC. So yeah,
I think we could do some more GSC stuff too.
What about? I feel like that's a good way to wrap things up.
Yes,
big
Steel,
plans. What plans do you have for the next narrative?
Me?
I mean, both of you, but I guess you might not actually know.
Assuming you don't, if you're not a Vox, what plans do you have for the next narrative?
If I'm not a Vox, my plans for the next narrative is, and I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'm not committing.
Real quick, Thunder Punch. Yes, I am. Jordan isn't.
I'm not.
Jordan wants to play Chaos.
And I'm going to be in a battle group with Andre and Thunder Punch, and we're going to have an all Imperium, all Asher Militarum, except for Andre, who's going to be Rogue Trader, as he always is, and it's beautiful cosplay. Mwah. Anyways, we're going to be in the same battle group if I get to play again. So I'm thinking about promoting Sergeant Steel.
Oh. What's next? What's the next rank?
Well, but laterally.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a Kazarkin?
Oh, okay. Is that are Kazarkin like a different rank?
So they're like the special forces of Canon.
Right.
Yeah, and so
you'd still be like Sergeant Steel, but like just a Kazarkin sergeant now.
Yes.
Okay.
And because I have the pieces for the cosplay to do it. I have like all the extra shin plate and forearm armor and stuff.
Yeah.
From Cody Universal's craft that makes my cosplay, just to know, only my shoulder pads that I make myself out of foam. Everything else, and my chainsword is from a different company now. But anyways, super talented. So I'll do that. And the other thing I'm going to commit to doing is I'm going to bring airplanes. Airplanes. I'm going to rain terror with an air wing on everyone.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the Brood Brothers rules change a little bit, because I really want to bring a Valkyrie, but you can't bring Valkyries in Brood Brothers.
Yeah,
Can't bring any aircraft.
You could 8th edition, I think.
You could in 9th edition too.
Oh, weird. I hate when that stuff changes, because like you have these models now and they're like, hard to use.
What are your goals, Sean?
Display board and that armor. Because I had a display board, but I've been super unsatisfied with my display board the last 2 years. The one last year, it was literally built out of the Leviathan box. So that I could box it up into the box, and then it folded out when I got off the plane. Because it was my first time, traveling with anything like that. This year, I just waited till the last minute to do it, and I am not satisfied with it. And so I've got big plans. I'm going to light all of my tanks and all of my dreadnoughts, and then the armor. That's the, I will probably play this Templar army for the narrative until the cows come home. Mostly because I can't trust that Deathwatch will have rules that stay for more than half an edition.
Yeah.
As much as I would rather bring Deathwatch for storytelling reasons, I can't invest the money in. I have 3,500 points of Deathwatch that are not playable because the rules keep changing on me. But a lot of it I've just converted to Templar at this point. So
Okay.
One day, whenever we get an actual Deathwatch Codex again, I will build my 4,000 points of Deathwatch. And the problem is I kit bash everything so wildly that it would just be
Your
such
army's
a
beautiful.
project.
Well,
thank you.
We love it.
I love it. It's what I want to do. And so the other thing I need to do is just refine a lot of the paint jobs. I like the gritty scheme I gave it, but it makes it hard to read from the 3 foot. Like you can't see the detail that is there, but I've covered it in rust paint. So I just need to pull the rust paint back a little bit on it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I think I don't know. I'm excited we want to do some more narratives, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, big old Space Marine armor.
Yeah. I've already started working on my next cosplay. I'm gonna go way more hardcore with it. Already started planning my display board. In theory, assuming I don't have to fly, it'll be really cool. But if we end up having to fly because it's moving somewhere else, it'll be a problem.
I think it'll be here. I don't think we're going.
I think so. I keep hearing whispers that it's gonna move at some point soon, but I don't know when.
Here's why I don't think it will, and I don't know anything. I'm not giving away any GWC. The reason why I don't think it'll move is because of how good it is for international travel to Atlanta.
Yep, 100%.
World Championship, which is why they chose the location, and GW isn't even using half of that convention center.
Yep, no, 100%.
Yep, so I think they're going to stay.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So I got big plans.
That would be a nice thing if we move. Like, it'd be kind of nice for the narrative to go the floor up.
Yeah, it's always booked. Like, there's always an event happening there, like right up until the grand narrative starts.
Yeah, it'd kind of be nice for the narrative to have its own floor separate, so that we weren't splitting between the 2 floors. But
yeah, I keep coming this close. I was like very close this year to deciding that I was going to play Orcs next year instead of my GSC.
No, you're not.
But like, my favorite interactions for the entire weekend were people walking up to my display board being like, "Oh, nice guard. Oh, nice Tyranids. Hey, what the fuck army are you playing?" Those my favorite interactions all weekend.
Yeah.
Was people trying to figure out what army I was playing. So like, I feel like I have to just consistently be the guy that brings 3 different armies.
For those in the chat that aren't in the know, Jordan last year brought 1,000 points of guard, 1,000 points of Imperial agents, and 1,000 points of GSC.
Yeah. So I spent the first half of the event playing guard plus Imperial agents. I did my heel turn and I came back playing guard plus GSC.
And this year was 1,000 points of GSC, 1,000 points of guard, and 1,000 points of Tyranid.
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
Yeah.
We didn't get to play against each other, did we, last year, Jordan?
Mm-mm. We played at the table next to each other.
Next to each other.
Yeah.
Because Jordan
with your
yeah.
Jordan was on Imperial last year.
Yeah.
Because he started playing agents and
they let me, when I did my heel turn, I had to go talk to them, and they let me like start putting my progress towards the chaos side.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
There
like
needs to
still
be
in the same
more of
battle
that.
group and everything, but they like were still letting me like put my progress towards chaos. So
Well, and
was
especially
fun.
because there are so many Imperial players, like it makes sense to let people shift the other way. You know, there's no real redemption in the 40k universe, right?
Yeah.
It's you know, Exterminatus or nothing else, but it makes sense for people to fall to chaos or you know, Xenos sympathizers, but not necessarily the other way.
I'm Imperial Forever, which is why I
Same.
appreciate you gave me like an Imperial Forever character. I'm like,
Same.
yes.
I have 1,000. I actually have way too many points of Thousand Suns now. I have a Thousand Suns army, but like it's not painted. It's not finished. It's the community army. It's passed from 3 people on our
Yeah,
channel
that's
now.
Elliot had it, and then I bought it from Elliot because he wasn't using it, and then I also never used it, so I gave it to Sean.
Yeah, because I had a bunch of Forge World Thousand Sun stuff that I was collecting for an eventual army, but I don't think I'll ever bring that to the narrative. It's not, you know, I don't know, maybe Dark Mech one day, but that's about it. Okay, cool. Steel, where can people find you on YouTube or other
Yeah.
fun?
So I'm on YouTube and Instagram, and both are at Katie and Sergeant Steel. So pretty easy to find me. And literally, if you go to search on either of those, you go KD and Sergeant. Oh, it's going to pop up.
There it
There he
then,
is.
right there. Yep.
Will
so
you
that's
be
where to
doing
find
a video? Will you be doing a video about your narrative experience? Can you?
I actually am. I've got a whole. I left the grand narrative and I went. Here are 5 videos I want to do.
Okay,
Hell
good.
yeah.
Right off-
A whole
right out
grand
the
narrative
gate.
series.
Well, and it's kind of everything. It's like, what does narrative play mean? What is
Sure.
Crusade? What about the grand narrative event? What about the Nova narrative? What about what I do at Adepticon? And I'm actually like wanting to cover all the different ways and the different mindsets. Because although I have a strong opinion, I don't mean to actually shame anybody. You play Warhammer the way you want to and have fun. It's a social contract also, so be considerate and kind to your opponent. But I want to just talk about that more. And so, yeah, I'm going to be putting out some content about that, and especially from the Grand Narrative. And, I mean, I was blessed and kind of that Games Workshop asked me to come work for them for a week.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I want to say kind of, and this is the last little on a
No, you're
pedestal
fine.
thing.
We got nowhere to be.
Yeah. This is the last thing I want to say. I had no idea how insanely hard the GW staff worked to put these events on.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, we know there's a lot of logistics. There's a lot of things to set up, a lot of things to clean, a lot of stuff to print and like set out and do. The labor that they put into this and the way they pull it off blew my mind. This year it was 60 people essentially running around like madmen, just going, all right, mats, terrain, here's the scorecards, here's this. Okay, we're going to decorate the rooms. Okay, we're going to hide the totes. Okay, we're going to put this away. Okay, no, I need more buildings in this room. Okay, somebody go find me buildings here. And then people run around that I'm like a little goblin in a stairwell sniffing glue and putting together,
crowns.
Portals. And I'm like, and like, we're all just going nuts trying to like put it all together in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Day and a half.
Yep.
All of that was put together from nothing to everything. And I, not a pat on the back to me, pat on the back to the GW, like full-time staff and the volunteers who do this over and over again. I run events at Adepticon. My labor is half of what they do.
Yeah.
It's nuts, and just kudos to them. Like, wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. Thunder Punch got a good question in chat. Are there any folks who weren't actors that were behind the scenes whose efforts you can shout out specifically?
Yeah, so 2 people who are GW full-time employees, but there were more, but Teresa and Jess especially, who kept us fed, who kept us on schedule, who kept us on task. But there were numerous other staff as well. We had these like people floating around who were amazing, and they were just in regular staff shirts, and they'd walk up to us as Vox Localums. And I mean, GW cares, and they knew we were stressed out, and they knew we were aching and dehydrated. and they were coming up to us going, "Hey, what do you need? Do you need water? Do you need food? Do you need a bathroom break? Do you need me to go to CVS and buy you something to take care of your health? Do like whatever you need." We had like 2 or 3 people running around dedicated to only doing that, to taking care of us, and which is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not kidding you. I was chugging so many electrolytes and doing all this other stuff. A lot of us got colds. We were actually sick.
Sure.
Half the staff, we were terribly sick either at the start or the end, which did not help. And we're trying to push through it. And so the staff like that, Wiley, Teresa, Jess, taking care of us meant the world. And those folks are just, and I know I'm forgetting people. There were several. But that's also what demonstrated to me that Games Workshop cares about their staff too.
Yeah.
What's the name of there's a bigger guy who was wearing a red staff shirt with a beard. And he was the one that was putting Kill Team players into games. Wiley. Yeah. I had great interaction with him last year, great interactions with him this year. He is just so nice and like,
yeah, he came over and like basically DM'd a Deathwatch Kill Team infiltrating my game on Canon.
Yeah. So he seems like a
great
dude.
Like that, make sure you fill out the survey.
I did my survey the second I got it. Okay. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So kudos to the people that you didn't get to meet, because they did not get a shout out at the end of the day. Hardly.
Yeah. No.
They should do like a credit roll.
Yeah,
they should. That's actually a really good idea. As far as us, I think you guys all already follow Steel. If you don't, do it. I do. And he has great content over there. We have our battle reports on Monday. This week we will be playing 12 Dreads against Votan. All 12 max Primaris Dreads, plus 5 Tech Marines, and that's the army.
Those poor little dwarves.
I don't know. They got big fuck off railguns. Yeah, they're probably fine.
The last time I got played that army, I got tabled, so I think it's fine. I've never played all 12 Dreads on the table, and we put a poll out, and that one.
Were you able to fit a Dreadnought drop pod?
Yeah, there's a Dreadnought drop pod, 12 Dreads, Ironfather Fearos, 3 Tech Marines, and a Tech Marine on bike. It actually might be 2 Tech Marines and a Tech Marine on bike. So that's going to happen Monday. And then Wednesday, we're going to be talking to Elliot and Ryan about the Grand Narrative, and maybe Ashton about their experiences, because they have a very different point of view than any of us here. Elliot especially is going to be kind of interesting. At least I think that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then I know in the future, we're going to do a cosplay episode with Draco Makes, and maybe Steel. Maybe we might have you back on that too, because you are like a recognized person wearing your cosplay, so you deserve the credit there.
It is true. Do you know people did not call me Vale?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't realize.
I had no idea.
I didn't realize until day 2 that your thing said Vale.
Yeah.
They were just calling me Sergeant Steele. They're like, "Hey, Sergeant Steele," and I'm like, so finally, like day 2, I was like, "All right, I got to start correcting people, or they're never going to catch on. I'm a different
Steele who?"
And I'm like, can't you read Low Gothic? It's printed right here. I'm Sergeant Torin Vale. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, getting on to people, right? Yeah.
You know, it's the pluses and minuses of becoming a recognized face in the community, right? But okay, cool. Jordan, you got anything else? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, no, that's it. Join us Monday. Join us next Wednesday. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see some Votan get smashed together by dreadnoughts, like 2 dreadnoughts just going, ah!
I'm going to do my best to remain impartial.
Oh, God. I don't know.
I just hope both sides have a good time.
I don't know what we're going to... I don't know why this was a good idea.
I want to see Votan getting thrown around like
to be fair, channel members voted on this matchup. Channel members specifically wanted Dreadstorm. So, if you want to vote, join as a channel member and you can vote for the next matchup.
Yeah, which hopefully won't be Dreadstorm. Oh, and then I think the week after we're doing Tankmas.
Yeah, we're doing Thanksgiving. Not Tanksmiths. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we're playing the GW has the like Tanksgiving rules, and I finally figured out the pieces we were missing. So, we're gonna run the like GW Tanksgiving rules, which are really interesting. But yeah, we'll break those down on the day.
So I trust you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining. Steel, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
It was great to be with you guys again. I really appreciate it, and thank you for asking me to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime,
whenever you want to come on. If you ever, if you ever want a soapbox, I mean, you have your own soapbox, right? But if you ever want a soapbox where there's less, you could be less professional, come on over.
You ever want a soapbox with a peanut gallery? We got you.
Yeah. I need to hang out with the DGens more often.
Hell yeah. That's us.
I'm just like, let's all be nice and cuddle.
Nope.
And then I come over here and I'm just like, I'm going to tell you why you suck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All
right.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Woo! Good chat, boys.
Yeah,
Dang, 2 hours 45 minutes.
Thank you
Yeah, that was a long.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I expect